Welcome back to Make It Make Sense podcast. First one of 2024. Took a little holiday break and changed some shit around, so you guys are seeing a new look studio. And we've got some lovely ladies with us today and a special guest. And we're take all that shit off the screen, bro. Yeah, we're gonna talk that shit. Start the year off right. Figure out some common miscommunications between males and females, and get this off to the right start, so we don't have any issues going forward. We're gonna have some fun, and we're gonna learn, and we're gonna hear a bunch of different perspectives. And as usual, most of you aren't gonna like the shit that I have to say. But with that being said, we're gonna go around the table and introduce everybody. And I will start with my mans across from me, Mr. LeVar.
Yeah.
Name, age, what you do for a living, and where you're from.
All right, LeVar, barber, counselor extraordinaire, all that good stuff. 46. And I'm from Columbus, Ohio, but I've been here a long time, so I've seen it change in major ways.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, y'all. First of all, thank you for allowing me to be here.
Oh, of course. Thank you for coming.
It's Brianna, but everybody calls me Be True. I am 34 years old, originally from Lancaster, California. Been here since 2012.
Where's Lancaster?
It's
North,
really,
mid?
It's like a little dirty town
So
in Southern
good.
California. Absolutely. But we've been here since 2012. So technically from here, I guess. Kind of.
I can dig it.
Yeah.
Okay, my computer's restarting. We'll figure that out.
I'm Andrea Shannon, Drea. I'm 36 years old, originally from Memphis, Tennessee, but I have been here for too long. But I still don't claim being from here. Sorry. I'm still, my southern roots won't let me. Like, there's some things we do in the South that I'm not letting go of, so I can't fully claim this weird Midwest. I don't even know what this is. Not even Midwest. Sorry, this is West Coast, whatever it is. I can't fully embrace all of that, but yeah, I mess with the weather.
Yeah.
My name is Ari, Ari Star. My name is Ariana, government name. My age, I am a grown woman. And
How old are you? We need it
grown.
for statistics.
For statistical reasons.
Yes.
I'm somewhere in between like 35 and like 43.
Come on,
On
man.
any given day. Just depends on the music. If it's an Anita Baker day
That's not how this
a
works.
Sukiyana day. Originally from Southern California. I like to say I'm from Los Angeles, but I'm from Rancho Cucamonga. So, is what it is. I don't fight. I will press charges though.
Absolutely.
So the most recent one I just posted has the link to this actual video for you guys to share. Okay, we can start with this because you guys, I'm glad you guys are participating. A lot of times it's difficult to get the guests to have questions of their own or things that they want to talk about and address. And you guys gave me a whole list of shit we're leaving in 2023.
Yes, we got you.
Okay, so I'm going to say these things and I want you to elaborate on them.
Are you doing all of them? You're not doing all of them.
I'm going to say, I mean,
They
how
need
many
to be
did
done.
you write?
They need to be left behind.
Okay, so
All of
people,
them.
but
Yeah.
just all people need to be left behind.
No. People that we are leaving behind.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Wait, no, who? Is this like all of us? We need to agree on this as
Types
Americans?
of people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Certain types of people.
Yeah, certain types of people.
Like?
We're not friending exes. We're leaving them behind. What's done is done. We gather our lessons. They are exes for a reason. We're leaving behind toxic people. If that includes mom and grandma, It is what it
Absolutely
is.
agree.
If that includes your kids,
Whoa.
they gotta go. If that includes the dog,
Unless
the
they're,
dog
unless they're under the age
Yeah.
of 18.
Unless
they're
we
under
don't
the age of
condone
18.
abandoning
Try to help them, but I
children
mean-
that are minors.
toxic. Period.
Can-
That is wild.
If you identify if your pronouns are toxic,
Hey.
we're good.
Absolutely.
Again, not excluding minors. 'Cause legally, you can't.
You have to. You
Right.
have a
can't walk away
responsibility
from
and an
them
obligation.
until they emancipate
Why
or
ain't no wait,
return
boy?
it.
Okay, my bad. I'm trying to make sure my sound effects is working.
You're good.
This is some bullshit. All right, so we're leaving behind. Let me take some notes. Where'd my pencil go? This is so difficult. My damn desk hasn't shown up yet. Throw me a pen. I can't find my pencil. Shut up, Dennison. Okay, so toxic people,
Exes.
exes, kids.
Grown kids.
Toxic as defined as anyone that willfully and criminally takes your peace.
Oof.
Period.
Criminally, that's strong.
Criminally.
That's extreme.
That's strong.
Yeah.
Pressing charges.
Egregiously, graciously, disturbingly.
Okay, so
Annoyingly.
we're also leaving having your ankles out in 2023.
Ladies.
Ari's gonna
ankles are out right
explain
now.
this.
That's a
'cause I don't know
Ariism.
what happened.
Okay. Oh, somewhere along the
Ariism.
line in this great country of Europe or what have you, tailor-made custom suits and no ankles became a thing, and it looks amazing. But then everyone started doing it, so now all men want to walk around with suits with no socks on and their ankles out, but they're just not doing it right. Put the ankles away. Because if you're not going to follow the protocol of appropriate, you have socks on. I'm talking about hard bottom shoes with no ankles on and a Steve Harvey suit. It's not being done correctly. So put them away.
You can't have your ankles out if you got a Steve Harvey suit on.
They don't
Steve
know
Harvey wears
this.
zoot suits.
They don't. They're not aware. They just roll them up and then keep the ankles out. We don't
All
want
right.
ankles out in hard
Are
bottom.
you taking
shoes.
notes, man? Apparently, we're leaving ankles out.
Put
in
the ankles
2023.
away.
So when
Yeah.
these socks start, the dope socks, like nobody rocks socks no more.
I prefer it.
Yeah,
What
I
about-
I'm just
prefer it.
checking. I'm just making sure. I'm
like,
like,
I like a
Yeah.
character sock.
Alright.
Show off your
I don't think that was
personality.
for chunky ankled men. Like I don't think the movement was for them. I think that, I really do think that there was a body mass index that
She's
came
been
with
out in
it.
some traumatized
I'm
areas.
sorry.
Wait a
And I don't even date men, but I'm
Wait a
helping
minute.
people understand.
Yeah.
Wait, first
Could
of
be
all,
why.
you're not gonna speed past that. Like you didn't just
took
say
their
what you
ankles
just
out.
said.
That's I'm
Tragic
good.
circles. I don't know.
I went.
Chunky ankled man. Okay.
Ankles. Just, so no
Cankles.
cankles. No
Yes,
cankles in
no,
2024.
no
Work on your
cankles.
ankle game. Is
All
what
right.
she's getting to.
So men, work on your ankle game. Get your calf raises going.
put a star next to that because we got to come back.
Okay.
We're gonna double all the way back
Okay,
around because
okay.
some things that we got to look on the other side that need to be fixed as well. Because it's like,
Oh, big facts.
Oh, big
Yeah.
oh, for
He
sure.
looked like
Talk
he
your
ready.
shit.
Like
Yes.
his
Go
mother.
ahead.
I just hey,
We'll
listen.
put some things away too.
I do not enjoy a sundress with no booty. That's me. So now
Nobody
Speak on
does.
it. I don't either.
Nobody
We
All
don't
right, I'm
either.
going home.
that's just me.
Whether heterosexual or lesbian, we don't appreciate it either. It's not appropriate.
No,
Know
because
your body
it's a
type.
wasted of a. You're gonna look.
That's
until
not
you-
what they're for.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not what they're for.
Well, I just
What
think
more
basically-
do you want from me?
Period. That's how I feel.
Basically, what we're getting to is wear clothes that fit your body type. Whatever body you currently have when you put that on and went outside. Don't focus on the body you want until you get it. And
Dress the
dress
body you have.
appropriately
Yes.
to the body that you have. Like I am
Currently.
4'10" and 3/4. You will never see me in overalls or a backpack because that would no.
Or a backpack?
No, because I would like to be seen as an adult in these streets.
So okay.
Yeah, y'all are
so like the
wild.
crossbody thing.
Crossbody I can do.
Okay.
A backpack I cannot because I look like Dora about to go explore some shit. So
I
I
really
stay
feel
in my
attacked
lane.
because I have on a sundress with no ass and a backpack.
You do have an ass, so you worked really like, girl.
I
That thing be
hated you.
thinking.
You do.
I said,
Get up. You take a lap or something?
Get out.
I can't do that. That's
Okay,
that's
I'm just-
goddamn porn.
Whoa.
I'm just saying that I was
That's
being
a little
modest. The ass
her
is
ass
a dragon.
actually.
Oh, okay,
It's
word.
a wagon.
She was joking.
Okay, look, I didn't look. I didn't see.
That
I
thing
was,
is thinking.
I was.
You've seen it.
sipping
Quit
wine.
playing
Your
with me.
sundress approved.
He calling you out, dog.
I didn't see.
You didn't look.
I did not.
I didn't
You
look
know,
either, to be
I was
honest.
not last summer. I was not sundress approved.
Not like
And it was
unintentionally. I mean, I'm always looking at women, but like I'm tall, you're little. I was standing when you
notice
walked
it.
in here.
Wow.
He'll notice
So
it
like,
now.
yeah,
Now, of course.
It's so big. You're gonna be like, oh my gosh.
What? No, last summer I wasn't ready, and I was like, I'll just stay home all summer because I'm not ready. I then just started eating, and
Again, down south rules. That's why I can't fully. There's some things down south that just make things work the way they need to.
All right, next one, because you guys, we're off to a good start. 2024, you can't. 2023, we're leaving this shit here. So 2024, toxic people, exes, kids, grandparents, men, don't have your ankle out. The next one is endless texting. What do you mean by endless texting?
Texting with no intentions of having a phone conversation. And
Like
you're an
calling?
adult. Yeah. It's is that a thing? You guys don't like
how did like
calling?
maybe he can demonstrate because Dimples seems like he might do it.
He definitely does.
I could tell.
He definitely
So like
texted
when
her.
you meet a woman, right, and she's giving you her number, then the next day, the next morning you wake up, what is your text message to her?
Good morning.
What else?
I don't know. It might be good morning, rise and shine. If I'm gonna text her the next day, just
our
something
friend
to.
There's
to-
no call to action, friend.
Huh?
There's no call to action. There's no
The
question.
first fucking thing in the morning? No, it's
Your
are you
first
awake? Like it's
she
good
has to
morning.
eventually wake up.
Okay, so good morning, and then she says good morning back, and then your conversation starts. It's like, okay, how is your day going? What do you have planned today? Those kind of things, and you get an organic conversation going. But what do you want me to say? What could you expect anyone to say? What would you say?
Oh,
She's a level of extra, so I
don't ask me. But I'm just
That's an
saying
appropriate
the
question.
good morning and the good morning. And then how's your day going? Great. How about yours? Great. What are you getting into today? Just work. Oh, that's cool. Me too.
I mean, it depends.
That's
No, it doesn't have to do that. Like you just said, if I just meet her. So it's, well, what do you do for work? Do you like your job?
That's a phone call. Is that not a
Yeah,
phone
but
call?
what?
But if I'm at work, I can't call you.
How
Then
long?
And
call
neither
me
can
after
you.
work.
Look,
That's
see,
true.
Correct.
that's a us thing. Like when you are fully engaged all day long, hands busy, conversation going, mentoring, everything else, it's difficult to be doing
That's why you
conversation while
don't.
you.
So
Call
after 5 or after
when there's time to build
shops
appropriately.
closed,
So after
what's the
7
next
o'clock,
step?
and then
Yeah.
it's like now you calling me
Give
late.
some intentional time.
Also-
you want to get to know. a
Also,
woman.
no, because because when you're too available to a woman, she loses interest immediately because you seem too easy to have, and women don't want something that
No,
they
you
can.
say, "Hey, hun, we're both very busy grown people. I would like to talk to you, get to know you a little bit more. Are you available?"
and I'll do that on
around,
my.
like,
I'll do that on my
are you-
time. but-
Correct. So then you offer your time. Are you available around 7:00 this evening for a conversation?
Or I'm not even gonna ask you if you're available. I'm gonna say I'm gonna call you around 7. I'm not giving you an option to tell me no, because I'm leading this situation. But I'm also going to make sure you know that I am busy. I have
Yeah.
things going for myself, because if I was too damn available, you wouldn't be interested in me in the first damn place. So, but the chit chat, that's just to let you know that I am interested in talking to you. And because I'm busy at work and I can't call you right now, this little back and forth, we can have that, what are you eating for lunch? Hey, maybe we can meet for lunch. Anything, but you have to get a conversation started, and that starts with good morning and some back and forth before you start asking questions that can lead to actual conversation.
I think the ones that we're leaving behind are the ones who will have this conversation every single day with no intent to get past the phone. That's the ones we're leaving.
Okay, sure, but you also have to understand that here's the biggest thing. Like, that's why the title of this episode is Supply and Demand. The type of man that most women go for is a man that most women go for. What I mean by that is there's very few men who meet your level of attraction standards. So, and it's not just you, it's all women. Women have such high bars for men to meet that you ain't the only one he's talking to. You have to understand that the type of man that you're actually interested in has options. So he's just feeling conversations out with a bunch of y'all because he actually has the ability to do so. Most men you don't even see. Okay? Did any of y'all stop to get gas or anything on your way over here? Did any of you go to a store today and buy anything today? Do you remember what your cashier looked like? Exactly. And that's your average male. Okay, so that 6'2", 6'3" in shape man that you're attracted to, he stands out for a fucking reason. He's taller than everybody around him. So that's what you guys see. And what you have to understand is supply and demand. All women see him. So if he's just having endless conversation that isn't really leading anywhere, it's because you have to now work to also get him engaged in this conversation. All right, because he's rare. Beauty is common. What women are looking for from men and what men are looking for in women is not the same thing that women are looking for in men. You see what I'm saying? It takes so much work for a man to be desirable to women. All right? So if he's just stringing you along, then he's not that damn interested.
Hello.
And that's why they're left behind.
You should probably say that again because somebody needs to hear that.
Can you repeat that?
If he's just stringing you along in conversation, not making any efforts to see you and all that other stuff, that's something that has to do with you and your behavior, and you haven't given him enough reason for him to reach out and say, I'm going to call you. I want to take you out. I want to do this. You ain't that damn interesting. It's clear because if the man that you actually gave a chance to is interested in you, he's going to sit there and say, yeah, I'm free Thursday. Let's go grab a drink. Let's go, something like that. It doesn't have to be. And then even still may have some endless texting leading up to Thursday. Today's Tuesday. You see what I'm saying?
You were thought of, right?
Exactly. Just to let you know, hey, you're still on my mind. Why? Because you are a little bit different than the rest of these broads I'm talking to. You see what I'm saying? So you can get mad about the endless texting all you want, but you also have to understand, are you giving him any reason to say, hey, let's meet up. Hey, let me call you. Because if your conversation's dry as shit too, I don't know how you expect a man to be that damn funny in a text message. You know what I'm saying? But he also has to get your attention. He earned it enough to get your number. Now he has to be this extravagant, interesting ass texter that leads to a call to have your attention when in reality, he's already done so much work just to be noticed as it is. Because y'all don't notice regular men.
I do.
No, you don't. And here's the thing. Privilege is invisible to those who have it. And that includes men too. I don't notice ugly women. You know what I'm saying? Think about it. Do y'all work out? Do y'all go to the gym? Okay.
I do a little sense.
Do you guys go to brunch? All right. Now, when you're at a brunch, a poppin' brunch, there's maybe 4 to 7 men total that are standing out amongst the crowd. You don't notice anybody else. You don't notice your server. You don't notice that busboy. You don't notice anybody, right? And then same thing with women. As a man, when you're at the gym, there's tons of people who are out of shape, short, unattractive women, overweight, that we don't notice. But we notice that bad bitch at that squat rack. We notice that one in them tight ass pants or the one with her titties out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we notice them because beauty is something that is rare. So it's something that you notice first. Everything else just goes unnoticed. But
it has to be a level of attraction.
Sensational.
Well, there's different levels
go
of
with that.
notice, though.
I get back to
There's different levels of notice because, again, from Memphis. So, no, I do actually notice every mother freaking person in my surroundings because that's how I was raised.
you trying to get robbed?
Right.
For-
It sounds like dangerous. Like
well,
security.
it's ingrained.
Okay,
like,
but do you think
know
most?
yourself.
Okay,
But,
before you even go
most-
forward, do you
the
think
average-
most,
No,
not just
you're
women,
true.
but people are aware of their
You're
surroundings?
very true in what you say, but I'm just saying, like, obviously there's exceptions to every rule, and no, I'm on board with everything that you said. You do follow what you're attracted to, and you do hold true to that. Like that's what you're into. That's what you're gonna be attracted to. That's what you follow. I think what we were getting to as far as the endless texting is the endless part that you're losing track of. And again, if we're not going to get to that space, I'm good with just, you don't have to keep texting my line. We can just say we did and we ain't got to do that again. If it's not going to end anywhere, if you do feel like my conversation is dry, a simple, hey, I wish you well. Cool. I'm not going to pay you no never mind. Because if my conversation was dry, it was mutual, boo. So you weren't keeping my attention. I wasn't keeping yours. We tried. It wasn't a thing. We move on. You ain't got to keep pressing my line with nonsense and bullshit. You can just let it go.
I think you just tell them that.
It sounds good, and that's easy for a woman to say because you don't have to do anything to get a man's attention, right? Here's a question. Who is sex easier? Who gets sex easier, men or women?
Women. But you just said that we also have an obligation to keep your attention.
Once
still,
you've given it, sure,
but
because
that's
you
what we're
got
talking about.
to.
If
But you got to think
numbers, there's an attention there already because we
but
exchanged information.
But I said that from the type of man that you want, right? Mm-hmm. So what I mean by that is as a woman, you get to choose who you sleep with. Mm-hmm. You get to choose who you give attention to. You get to choose who you give your number to. You get to choose who you text back. Mm-hmm. Where most women, I think, lose it in this, he just ain't it. He just ain't got it. The vibes ain't there. Is because you're still not putting any effort towards him, right? Because you don't have to. Because as a woman, all you have to do is wait for men to approach you.
Venus flytrap.
You ain't hollering at no dudes.
Well, I'm a shooter.
Well,
I'm a
Sure.
shooter.
Okay, but we're in this is the first week of 2024. Mm-hmm. How many times you shoot in 2023?
In 2023?
Yeah.
My God.
She was Kobe and Steph Curry.
Okay, give me a range.
7.
And
Realistic.
Ariana is a serial complimenter.
That's
like
fine.
But that's still not even me shooting my shot. I think I really only seriously shot my shot maybe twice. I'll flirt with it.
Stop it.
Okay.
I know. Compared to a man, I know. There's no need
I've
to
shot
comparison.
more than twice today.
Get some help.
Okay. So again, that's it's not important.
Yeah.
Or
She
I'm sorry.
said in the
I thought I
year.
lowballed her at 7 too. I thought I was
Twice in a year.
7. You know,
I mean,
I don't know,
seriously.
She said,
whole
I
year.
just shot my shot when I asked her to bring me some
Wait,
water.
but what I mean, okay, so shooting your shot is where you really trying to get at him. That's what I mean. I would actually talk to you.
Yeah,
but if we
and
talking
women
about,
don't do that. You're not asking no dudes for his number. You're not looking at
it was
dudes talking
too.
about, hey, come here, slim thick. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
You're
yo,
not
come here, ankles.
Yeah.
Come here, ankles.
You're not doing none of that.
Like, no.
Okay, so my point was that as a woman, there is no burden of performance for you to receive male attention.
I agree.
Okay,
Attention,
Now,
no.
Attention, but where does attention lead?
Retention, yes.
Okay, exactly. Mm-hmm. So understand that the man that you actually wanted to give your attention to needs your attention to keep it. You know what I'm saying?
here's what y'all not saying. But it was offline. They had a better point, and I'm not sure when it got lost or why y'all tucked it.
Go ahead.
But the thing was, I don't want to text you all day. Call me. Because whatever it is,
Well, that's what she said.
It fast forwards so much
So
faster.
we went from the texting and why people text and all this stuff. The end of the day was we are grown ups at this point, right?
But not everybody. This is for everybody.
Right. Okay, this is for everybody.
Yeah.
For the grown ups.
Okay.
Can I say that? For the grown ups out there in human interaction, we seem to have habits of children when it comes to dialogue and conversing. So you meet someone, you text them, you can text good morning and all that stuff, but there should be conversation. Conversation is how we mature-arize the situation, right? It's how people get to know each other. And so I think that the conversation was, we are not children. We are not going to be texting on the phone all day. We have things to do. We work with our hands. We got to type. We got to talk. We have things to do. So texting good morning is one thing, but we need to be having conversations, actual dates. We are not about to be on no dang text relationship. And there is a laziness, and there's an ease, and there's an acceptance with certain people, especially the children of the adult world, that will allow a whole relationship to manifest through text messaging. And what we're saying is, we are here to adults.
I mean,
Have you ever had a dream
that's
that you had?
Now, I do want to state this. There's a lot of men-women talk. I am a full-on lesbian. So I don't have some of these problems, you know what I'm saying? But it's glitter and glamorous over here.
I'm about to be a full-blown
You
lesbian.
should.
I am not.
Married by
It's a delicious adventure.
But I encourage those who do. Find love where you find it. But I think the moral of the story is, as far as the retention piece that you spoke to, you've got about 2 to 4 days before we either have to have a phone conversation or we need to meet in public and conversate before you lose my interest. Point blank.
That's
like
fine.
my attention
That's
span is
all
not
well and good.
on
But
text.
again, this is why we're having these conversations, because again, all right. Let me. I'm gonna ask a few questions. Do you want your dream man? This is dream man. Your perfect guy. Do you want him to be taller than you?
I'm 4'10"
I know.
and 3/4.
Okay, but
So
do
I
you have an
hope so.
ideal height?
For
Taller
her,
than
that's-
4'10" and 3/4.
Taller
Like
than
it.
so 5'2" straight.
I'm a woman and I need my woman taller than me.
We're talking about your dream guy. You're
Dream
not
guy,
talking to
not
no,
what
like
you'll
5'2".
accept.
Correct.
My dream. So anywhere from 5'8" and up.
Okay. Okay, so you need him to be 5'8" and up. How much money does he need to earn for you to feel safe and secure? For you, this is your husband and someone who's going to raise your children.
For my husband, I need him in a solid 6 figures.
Okay. And does he need to be handsome?
He needs to be attractive to me.
Okay. Does he need to be in shape?
He needs to be attractive to me.
Okay,
I like
what-
a bigger guy.
What does that
but
mean? Well,
He doesn't have to be
again,
super
this
buff.
is dream guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even my dream guy, it doesn't have to be super duper sculpted.
I didn't say you
like,
have to be
he can
sculpted,
be a little,
but in
little
shape.
fluffy.
In shape, because
Yeah, I just don't wanna have to worry about you dying
I'm
early.
tired of women saying they like the dad bod. There's not one hard eye picture under a shirtless Will Ferrell. Okay,
I ain't gonna lie. The Jason Momoa on my phone is dad by Jason Momoa, not.
even dad bod Jason Momoa
Yes,
is an
yeah.
athlete body.
Hella far from
You know what I'm
everybody
saying?
else,
Like
yeah.
that's not a dad bod. That is not a
No,
dad bod.
I just need to I need to be rest assured if it's my husband that I ain't got to worry about you dropping dead in the middle of nowhere. So,
So
as
the
long as
answer
you're
is
Healthy.
yes.
Okay, so yes, you need him to be in shape. Okay,
Just healthy.
Does he need to be smart, or does he have?
Yes.
Okay, does he need to be funny?
It's a plus.
Does he need to be dominant?
Yes, he needs to be able to lead.
Assertive, a leader.
Yeah, he needs to be able to lead
So
my
you're
household.
asking for a lot. What do you think that man is asking for in return from
It
you?
doesn't even sound like a lot. That sounds like the definition of a man.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh,
I agree. But do you
That's
think
not-
do
that
you
doesn't
think
even sound
most
like dream
do you
guy
think
to a
most
woman.
men check all of those boxes?
That's gonna
No.
be a no.
No,
I don't know.
They don't.
I left before I could find out.
they do not.
Out of men
Or
that you
else
know,
we would not be
out
single.
of men that you know,
No.
do you think most men check those boxes?
No.
Because we can just stop
don't-
you.
I feel like
We
my
can just stop
friends
you at
do.
6 figures
Isn't that
because
weird?
only 18% of this country makes 6 figures or more, and half of them are women.
Mm-hmm.
So you just eliminated 92%
You're gonna be a
of available
lesbian.
options.
No, I'm not.
Hey, listen, you have to think about this.
No,
these are things that really need to be taken into consideration. You've just eliminated 98 just based on income alone.
Mm-hmm.
So most men are not going to add up to what you want. And what do you think he's asking for in return from you? Do you think he needs 6 figures?
No, he needs peace. I'm assuming. Well, not being a guy, like if I'm spitballing, probably needs peace. Someone he's attracted to.
Food.
Fine and
And what do
sex.
men find attractive in women?
Usually body.
Confidence. Good conversation.
Usually ass or tits.
If I was
Demure,
if I was that
demeanor.
man, I wouldn't even want a confident girl. I would want somebody who's right under my wing, who's gonna do whatever I say because I make the money and give me coochie when I want.
So
Because
you
I
should
really
be a
don't.
lesbian.
I know.
Okay.
I know.
You're almost there.
She recruiting right there.
Yeah.
She's almost there.
So that's the reason I like this podcast is because it's very clear that most women not only don't know what men are attracted to in women, but also y'all don't care. To be honest, you don't care. Most women do not give a shit what men are attracted to, which is why you're saying things like you got 4 days before we need to meet
First of
up
all,
and all these other
I
things.
said a
Demeanor was
conversation.
Definitely not like that. There were no-
Not
there was no
just
air
I
grab.
said
this
if
isn't
I-
a her
okay.
thing. This is
I wanna
no-
say let's put some
this
respect
is,
on her
This
class.
is women in general.
Oh,
Okay, everything
That's
I'm
how you
saying is
see
in
women?
general.
First of all, what you not gonna do is not.
That's
have
how a
6
lot of women
figures.
talk.
Are
That's something
do
we could
talk
leave.
Like that?
That's how.
Can
That's
we
something.
do? Can we do based on the statistics
That's
in here?
no, because we're talking about a
About-
general conversation and what we're leaving and what we're
Well,
leaving in
average
2024
here would be that
and what
we're
we're
not.
leaving in 2024. But
Okay.
even if I was exaggerated, it still was a very firm. You got about 4 days before you lose my interest.
Can we leave that in
Agreed.
23 too?
Huh?
Can we leave that?
Oh,
Yeah,
leave
we can
that.
leave all that shit there. But the point,
Listen,
listen. The point is you're describing a very, very, very rare man, and all that man wants for you is, or what men are attracted to, in general, overall, is youth, beauty, and purity. Okay, we don't need you to be confident. We don't need you to be assertive. We don't need you to be dominant. We don't need you to be successful.
want
We don't need you to do any of that shit because we're not trying to date ourselves. Okay, we're men. We want women. All right. And today's woman is extremely career oriented, extremely dominant, extremely assertive, combative, non-agreeable. And these are all things that men don't want to deal with, especially the man you just described. He had to work his ass off to be a six-figure man. He had to work his ass off to be charming, funny, a leader, handsome, interesting, enough to keep your interest for 4 days. When he's got options because he is rare, fuck your 4 days, to be honest, because I'll just go pick somebody else who wants me, who realizes that I'm a prize, that realizes that I worked my ass off to get where I'm at, to get y'all's attention in the first place.
Didn't you say that if you're not interested, you wouldn't put in the effort? So if you're interested, you're going to call me within 4 days.
Yeah,
you're going to naturally do those things because you're interested. If you're not, just...
But how do I get interested? Because I already did the work to get your interest, but you want me to go above and beyond continuing to do that?
But you
Where is
said
your
you would
effort?
want to.
Where is the woman? Okay, exactly. Where is the woman's
I said
initiative?
it needed to take place. I didn't say who was going to initiate.
Okay, well then
I
that's
just
where the
said within
misunderstanding
4
is.
days, if
Then
we
that's
don't
where
have
the-
a phone conversation.
That's where the misunderstanding is, because that's basically what this whole
No,
endless
the
texting thing.
No, it wasn't. It was just to say, pick up the phone and call. We don't want to text
There
all
are some
day.
people that
That's
if
all
you
we were
call
saying.
them-
But the way you just delivered that is I have to pick up the phone and
No,
call.
no.
The way you
We're
just said it is what that
we're
implies.
saying we as adults would like to. We would like to talk on the phone.
Okay, then you call me.
Exactly. I
But
just
y'all
said a
haven't
conversation.
suggested that until right now.
No, I said if a conversation does not take place within 2 to 4 days, I'm probably going to lose my interest
I get
until
that.
takes place.
And there's a
I didn't
dance
say
of-
until you call. I said a conversation needs to take
Fair.
place. Whoever
Yes.
whoever initiates is fine. It can be me. It can be, but in our lifetime and in our experience, there are gentlemen, or I don't even know, gentlemen is the word. There are boys out there who, if you pick up a phone, they will act like you are a bill collector and will send you a text back, oh, I can't talk right now. And that's an endless cycle of I can't talk, everything as a text.
Oh,
They'll
that's
send you
wild.
novels.
That's because he got somebody else.
That's why.
Right. So they're sending novels. They're doing all this. I don't do that. I'm
No
not even going to
poetry,
read that.
no
I'm
book.
going
Don't
to
do that.
instantly
Oh yeah,
pick
no.
up
If
the phone.
he cannot and does not want to talk to you on the phone, that's because there's another
He
woman
got
around.
like a wife at
Exactly.
the
So that's
house.
what I'm saying. We on to the next.
And a
Like
baby
we're
on
not
the
doing
way.
the endless texting because that's a red flag. Keep it where
I don't think
it
it's
is.
a huge red flag.
You
but
just
I
said
do-
he got a whole nother bitch.
wait,
Like,
no,
how
no,
is
no,
that
no.
not a red flag?
Well, I mean, in 2 to 4 days doesn't mean red flag. All the time, yes, it can be a red flag. But
Okay, so I get your number, or we exchange numbers. However, we talking. You hit me with the good morning, blah 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 blah. We're on day 4, so I've called you day 3. Like, when do this? Just put me up on game. When? At what point do I supposed to be concerned? Because I feel like.
it depends on when you call. It truly depends on when
I'm
you
most
call.
likely not gonna call.
But
you
won't you text
during
back like,
work
"Hey, I'm working. I'm gonna give you a
if you
call
don't
back."
get that, if what, because it could
And
be
if he
anything.
doesn't
It could
call
have been
back
I was
later
I was
tonight.
playing ball at the gym.
Anything.
I got my men's league tonight. Whatever it
Anything.
is, you know what I mean. I'll call you after or something like that.
Yeah.
Then yeah, sure. No, if he's not making any effort like that, again, there's 2 things going on. Either he has somebody else, or
He
you're just not that damn
into
interested.
you. Yeah.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Like at that point, after those few days, when the next time you press my line, unless you're coming with a full court press of sorts, and even then you got an uphill battle, I'm treating you like you treating me. Okay, hey homie, you're a text buddy. You're a text friend. I'm not paying you no mind. I'm not putting you in a category to consider beyond this text messages thing. Like we could be text buddies all day long. That's where you live. That's where you at. But as far as you think you gonna get further than that, you put yourself in the box. Stay in the box. But if you're not putting in the effort that you described on either side, because sometimes you can exchange numbers with someone, it's a dry ass conversation or the mood's just not right, and I'm out before you even get a chance to be out. So it goes both ways. We all lose interest at certain points if there's not enough there to keep the interest, which is basically all you're saying. If there's no interest on either side, the difference in I think what we're saying is if there's no interest, let's just let it die. You don't have to
Well, I
keep
mean, that's
pecking
common
at
sense.
me.
I'm more or less speaking on the simple fact that the type of man that most women actually want and would
And I
put more
agree.
effort into that conversation, those text messages, shit, the good morning might be coming from her because she can see that he's a winner. You know what I mean? Because as a woman, you just get to wait at the finish line and fuck the winners. You don't have to worry about the race. You know what I'm saying? So if you do see a winner, you're going to go harder. But see, the thing is most men are not attractive or not checking enough boxes for you to sit there and get turned off by 4 days of texting. Because let me tell you right now, whoever your dream man you got in your head, if Jason Momoa gave you 4 motherfucking days of dry ass text, you're not finna just drop it. No, you're not. No, you're not. I'm talking about actual Jason Momoa. He's
then
on
you
your
also-
phone.
But at
He
the
got
same
4.5
time,
days.
give him an extra hour. No, but you also stated that like you're gonna be excited to meet that person, and that guy, that dream guy, is every other woman's dream guy. So
Exactly.
if I'm competing against all these different women, like how are you still stuck on the woman's the prize? And that conversation
says
isn't the
woman's
man.
prize?
You just said like we have all the
No,
juice, we have the like he's
yeah,
got
you don't have
50 to 1.
So
Like
you
what
get to
math
the
are
Yeah,
finish
you
no,
line.
that's
doing?
no. The winner men are the prize. The
Yeah.
very rare men are the prize. That's supply and demand. The
Absolutely.
type of men that
Exactly.
women want are very rare. What they want from women is extremely common. So since he's exceptional and rare, you need to be exceptional and rare. So if you're going to be competing with 50 women, you need to do things that those other 50 women aren't willing to do because they think they have an endless fucking supply of him. And they
I
don't.
guarantee you, the women that are in that pool, they're dealing with, they're texting good morning, good morning, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. What
To
you need,
losers.
you
Which is
why-
need things
but
to
this is-
Loser.
But
No, even to
because
that guy, 'cause
because
they think
women
that's the
women
something
have
different.
right, and because that behavior.
What was the last thing you said? I'm sorry.
Because they think that's the something different. Oh, I'm gonna just give him all this attention.
Mm-hmm.
When real in reality, it's I don't want you. That type of guy don't want me blowing up his phone every 2 minutes. That type of guy is busy doing what he needs to do. So
What makes
having
you
a
think
simple
that?
I like the
a
text
simple
message.
check-in, I'm all for. But in most cases, a man like that is gonna want to wait till after hours to be like, "Hey, we can have a full conversation," or "Hey, let's meet and talk," because I don't have time.
No,
to
that's
sit
what
here
you
and
want
text
that
you all
man
day.
to do. To get.
But didn't you say my dream guy? So why wouldn't
Yeah, but
it be
you-
what I would want him to do? We're
But
talking
your dream
hypothetically,
guy,
my
your dream guy, men are typically the same. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about. I guess in your dream world, yes, that's the case. But we're talking about a dream man in general for most women. Okay, and like I said, he is rare. He is exceptional. So in order to keep that, to win that, you have to be rare and exceptional too. And like I said, since most women have this unlimited supply of sexual attention, not necessarily commitment attention, they don't realize that this winner needs you to do things. You need to go above and beyond. You need to show me why I should pick you.
What's the difference you said between sexual and commitment? From a man's point of view, what is the difference?
How did we get here?
Because that's why women get to say things like, you got 4 days to keep me before I'm interested. Like this guy that you actually gave attention to is just in abundance.
No,
He's not. Hold on. And I'm getting to your sexual attention. She said, how did we get there? But when it comes to sexual attention, what I mean is you shot your shot twice last year, okay? But your DMs have been shot up more than twice today. Okay, women have, whether it's hard eyes, whether it's fire. Stop lying. I have to hit you with a fire earlier this week. Okay, so like
Just to
cut
get
it
you to
out.
do a podcast.
Like knock it off. Okay, men know because we do it. We're the ones with giving women endless supplies of sexual attention, whether it's a fire emoji, a heart eye emoji, a damn, whatever I mean, you guys probably have some wild shit said to you. Okay, these are men who want to sleep with you. Okay, that does not mean that they want you to be their girlfriends.
Absolutely.
Women get to choose who they sleep with. Men get to choose who they commit to.
Indeed.
Men are the one who get on their knees and ask and give the
Absolutely agree.
commitment. But
Absolutely
the thing
agree.
is in order to even get to that point, that man has to be so exceptional for you to consider it, right? So don't conflate. I've got tons of options because all of these guys are hollering at me with I've got tons of guys who want me to be their wife.
There's definitely a difference. And I always say, like, they be just like, you got a roster. I'm like, please, ain't nobody trying to be with me like that. And I always say, like, yeah, nigga, fuck on me, period. But my question to you was, well, to both of you guys, what is the difference in, if y'all was picking like your woman, what would be the difference? What would stand out to you? Like, this is
That's
the
what I've been trying to explain.
okay. So
Well,
what
you said
what is she doing to
purity?
commit?
He said purity.
No, that's in general. There, some men have exceptions. Like I don't give
fresh,
nearly as
like-
much of a fuck about a woman.
Like
that has
nobody
most
cares
of
about
has
like
to-
character
she has
traits
to
and stuff.
stretch
That's what I meant.
Yeah, exactly. No, but okay, but part of that character
He said a
trait
little
is you
girl.
showing some effort in me.
Oh, yeah.
You know
No, I
what I'm
get
saying?
that.
And then being an asset, not being a headache,
Hello.
not being difficult
Did
to
I just
deal
say
with.
peace? I think I started.
Yeah, with peace.
Yeah.
Pieces, and yeah, no, ain't nobody.
You said peace.
And I didn't disagree with you because peace is
Paramount.
very important.
So the girls
you know
who
what I'm saying?
giving coochie, they be toxic. Huh?
Respect. Respect.
man.
Respect is to men what safety and security is to women.
Yeah.
Indeed.
I
agree.
So those are the things that we need. Instead of complaining about we've been texting for 4 days, respect the fact that I'm busy as shit.
Okay.
You know what I'm
so
saying?
the original message, back to the beginning, was endless texting more in the form of a behavior as opposed to this dating conversation that
Yeah.
we got into. So we were just saying that there has been some very lazy and sloppy behavior amongst grown-ups. And we are just texting back and
As a
forth, and we're
generation,
not.
as a-
I
Maybe
just
not
think
even.
that's a
Maybe
societal
not
thing
even.
in this-
Correct. And we're
with
saying
phones. It's easy.
correct. And
And
we're saying
humans are the path of least resistance.
correct. And we're saying that we would like
The
to
effort.
converse again, whether that is relationships, friendships, workships, motherships, sonships, fatherships, nieceships.
Oh, I
all
mean,
that.
hell,
we're
I-
saying in general, but as it relates to entering into a romantic ship, that we would like conversations again. So it was more of this lazy and easy path to least resistance. Yeah, it's the
No
way of the
effort in
world,
communication.
but also it's creating you value and cherish the thing that you've worked so hard for, right? When something is just you're just texting endlessly back and forth, you didn't put in much work. No one's really doing much.
That's all I wanted you to say. That was it. Because like that, now you can close the chapter on that. Because that
Okay.
is like accepted, understood.
You're working,
boom.
you're courting, you're dating, you're talking, you're getting to know, you're building, you're saying, hey, when's the last time that you really experienced fear? I wish you would text me a question like that and we're going to dialogue back and forth. And you're sitting at your house and I'm sitting at my house. Why are we not on the phone? I need to put on some perfumes and lotions and get out the house. I need to like zhuzh up my baby hairs and stuff. You got me in the bed, in sweats, texting you back and forth paragraphs. And we're whole grown ass adults with car money, gas, insurance, freeway access, like restaurant reservation abilities. That's what we're saying. We're saying we want to get off the phones. But I'm good though.
See, now you can scratch that off and we can move on to
Yes!
something. It's called closure.
Yes!
Bam, right there.
Yes!
And scene.
Brum, 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 brum.
So we're also leaving Grand Rising Queen
Grant, listen.
in 2023.
I've been
Block.
left
It's an
that.
immediate block.
I've been left that. I've never.
It is
even
an immediate
entertained
block.
Y'all used to love the what do you call it? What do you call this? My man with no shoes all the time. The Eric Benet brothers. Y'all like that
No.
no more?
Nah, where's
I
the
ain't never
camera
been
at?
Eric
Where's
Benet
the
girl.
camera
Natural
that I'm on?
man.
Is it like right here? So all you women, men,
This one.
where are we at? Anyone with any sort of pronoun, men, women, they, them, us's, hers, his. Grand Rising Queen, Grand Rising King will get you blocked immediately.
Why?
Period. We're done. That's it.
funny.
Why?
End of story.
I'm curious.
It's just annoying. I really don't even know. It just makes
Do
my
you
body
understand?
itch. I
Like
don't
there
know
was
why.
an origin that came with it, right? That was rooted in the world of spirituality. And now, to the point we made before we got online, is everyone's buying crystals from Walmart. People are saying Grand Rising Queen.
Walmart
People are
crystals.
going outside and seeing a full moon and saying, I'm supposed to do something. So they're
Yeah.
like chanting Biggie songs. Like people are just Googling shit and not really about that life. And so stop saying shit you don't understand.
No, I agree.
I agree with that.
Stop it.
I agree.
Get some
I
help.
mean, I do truly believe that words cast spells. You know what I mean?
Because they do.
I agree with that. Like I was on that for a minute. I got tricked into saying the Grand Rising and all that other stuff
They don't
too.
even know how
That
to
shit
get
fucking
here.
worked on somebody.
Went
She was like,
vegan
"Hey,
and all
kid."
kinds of stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God.
But
And she's not even a queen.
even a good morning, like it was like, oh, morning is such a bad word, and that's why you don't say it, and blah blah blah. And I'm like, well, maybe I'm mourning the fact that yesterday is gone and today's a new day. You know what I'm saying?
Got deep on them one time.
You can change the meaning of the morning. I'm mourning the past and enjoying
Happy
the
for the
present.
present, and you
know
are
what I'm
a
saying?
present.
So
Right,
anyway,
sometimes I-
no,
There's
I
a way to
agree.
flip it.
I agree. We
Sometimes I
can
think it
we can leave
morning.
Grand Rising. We can leave Grand Rising in 2023.
Definitely.
from men, masculine women.
Yes, we were talking.
And we don't want to be thugs? What's that mean?
No, we don't.
We as women.
We as women, we are ready to be soft. We are ready to have our skin soft. We are ready to smell good. We are ready to talk at a decimal that is pleasant to the ears of others. We are ready to be feminine vessels. We are ready to move like smoke in a room with our hips sashaying back and forth. We are ready for men to be men. We are ready for masculine energy to be masculine energy. Yeah.
Oh my God, bro.
Stop it.
Where's the round of applause?
Right out of all.
Oh
no,
my
it's
God,
true.
we are ready to not wear
The pants.
bonnets, and we're
Oh,
good. We're good. We're done in public. We're done.
Oh, why
We're
you-
done.
Girl, I ain't never.
We never exactly.
I
Again,
did
from the
see it out
South,
there,
there are
but-
certain
Okay, I got a
things
question though. Where do you think that masculine energy from women came from, and this
The
feminine
workforce.
energy from men?
So to your point earlier, we have to provide for survival. So we became there was a societal shift. So there was a time where women could not work, and the work that we could do wasn't enough to support a household. That then shifted, and now we, in most cases, like to your point earlier, most of the six-figure earners in this country are women. That shifted to where now we're the breadwinners of sort, and we're supposed to be, and now in today's world, submissive providers, and that's an oxymoron. So it became this, because even with what I do for a living, it's hard for men to see me in my soft spaces because 9 times out of 10, I manage events. So if I'm out, I'm on the clock. So the perception of me is, oh, she a boss chick. Oh, she's into all this. Oh, she's probably going to be, when it's the opposite. When I'm at home, I want to cater to you. I want to nurture you. I don't want to be the head of anything. I want to make sure my family is good and solid and taken care of. I don't want to be the man ever. Like, that's not my role. That's not my position. I'm already soft-spoken. I'm never going to yell. But I do, in my professional outside world, have to be assertive. But when I'm home, I shouldn't have to be. You know this household's trajectory. You know where we're going as a unit. We had a conversation that was never elevated. I don't even believe in the word fight. We had a discussion. Sometimes it's a little stronger, but we had a discussion because that's what it should be. We're communicating. We're not arguing, because to argue means to get nowhere. You're just trying to assert your position. I believe in conversations that lead somewhere. So we're resolving something. Either we had a disagreement of some sort that we need to get on the same page of, or we had a misunderstanding. Either way, we're getting past it, or there's no sense in us even, what are we doing? If everything is combative, I don't want it. That sounds like work. I do that at work. I have to fight for everything I get at work. When I'm at home, I don't want to fight about nothing trivial. I don't want to fight about anything serious. You know where we stand. If you're my home, you know my position. And it's your job to see that through.
Is how you just spoke to me how you would speak to your partner?
Every time.
Okay. I don't
We didn't
mean
get. We
to-
couldn't get a hand clap
I-
on her.
Well,
An applause.
it all sounded well and good. You know what I mean? But with your tone, it was firm, it was assertive, and again, that was what I was talking about earlier, when that man had to work hard to become interesting enough for you because you make a lot of money, because you have a career, right? The way you just talk, you can't just turn off assertive and dominant that you do at work and come home and be a completely different submissive woman. The way you just spoke to me and how firm you were about it, I don't want to talk about this. We're going to have a discussion and we're going to get past it. No. If you were talking
And
to
I
me
wouldn't-
like that and I'm your man, it sounds like you're talking down to me like I'm a child. And this isn't a discussion. This
Let
is
me
you telling me
preface.
what I need to do.
So that was me explaining, because that's me in the real. We're dating. We're getting to know one another. You say something out of pocket, something that I'm like,
Like what?
you said.
Like, bitch! No.
No, like, okay, we're walking down the street. Let's say we were out and about earlier. Again, everybody's human. You're gonna see who you're gonna see. You're gonna look at who you're gonna look at. I ain't got no problem with that. Everybody human. If the bitch bad, bitch bad. But you drop my hand to look at somebody, you turn your back to me because you see
tie my
fat
shoe?
ass. That's
Emotional.
something that I'm not gonna say nothing in public. Okay, cool. We gonna carry on about our day. But when we get home, I'm gonna hit you with a hey. Just so it doesn't linger. I understand baby girl was bad, but like you dropped my hand like I was your little sister and you was tired of me hanging around. Like, what's that about? Like,
I'm not finished.
And that hurt
I'm
my
not
feelings.
finished.
yeah, I'm like, I ain't
That
like
offended me.
I'm gonna just cry because like, what are you
Okay.
I'm
talking
not
about?
gonna cry, but I'm gonna ask like, hey, so is
One
that like, was that intentional? I know we're early in dating, so I know like, you know, we're finding
Do
our
you
way.
think
We're
that
not
that's the
committed.
right time to bring that up? If we're
I said
early in
once I
dating?
get, yeah, because if not, it's gonna continue to fester and it's gonna become a thing. So I'm like, and that's the question, that's the conversation. Like, hey, is it too early for me to like this is what I'm feeling?
You should probably say that right
mean
then. That's a right then
that-
situation.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I'm
because if
saying,
not,
like,
if
you
it
get
goes too
down
far
when
and
you're
it's
not
been last week or 2 years ago, I don't want to
Well,
do
I'm
that.
I'm gonna agree with him.
That's
If you've
what
got
right
an
now.
issue, because that's how men deal with things. If I got
Absolutely.
me and him have worked together.
Mm-hmm.
If we have an issue and he's shit, it's happened. I'm the wild one at the barbershop.
Indeed.
He's had very little problem saying, "Hey, I've got somebody who's coming in here. Can you turn off the cussing music?" You know what I'm saying? Just boom, address it. Because I know how you are. You know what I'm saying? I've seen it in the past, and I don't want it to be a problem for me. I'm asking you nicely. I can sit there and we can just have a man situation like, fuck your clients, my nigga. I'm going to do what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? Or I can, but at least he's going to address it right then and there. You know what I mean? Versus
I just don't like having
his client
discussions like that in
coming.
public.
I
That's
get
all
that.
So I'm not saying like days is gonna go by. I'm saying as soon as we get out of public, we can
I
be in the
know,
car.
but
The booty
I'm
he
tell-
saw
I'm
that
tell-
day, he don't even remember anymore. That's
and
gone.
I'm telling you as a man, it's like the reason some fights get out of hand between men and women or discussions get out of hand is because we just spent another 4 hours together with no problems. We had a blast. And then as soon as we get home, you want to start some shit when I'm about to go to sleep?
That wasn't starting shit though. That
That
was
was just
having a
asking.
conversation.
I understand that, but what I'm telling you, if we're
translation.
telling you
That's a
as men,
translation.
tell me now,
Yeah.
because you're not gonna let me think everything was all good and then hit me with. I just think it's funny how
Yeah.
later.
In that situation,
'Cause that's not how we communicate.
Yeah, in that situation, I'm one of those get down where you mad at. Like in that situation of you like drop my hand, especially if
You
we're
didn't even have to
dirty
say
and-
nothing. It could have been body language. As soon as I dropped your
Absolutely.
hand, you could have been like,
But
And
You
that's
know what I'm
gonna
saying?
be
Gonna
that.
give you the are
but
you
I'm saying
dumb
the
look for
are,
sure.
and there's that, and then there's like the reason behind it. Like I'm probably gonna not joke about it, but I'm gonna say something. Then like, oh, is that what we doing? Like, damn, she is bad, but
No, I'm
really.
gonna say like
but
that.
can we?
And
But,
I'm gonna
but can
keep
we
on-
get back
but then
to
we
the?
need to have a discussion about like, oh, because and like to your point, if we are early on in that, that's a signal for me too. Like, oh
Absolutely.
shit,
To
like I
just
really
go.
like
Right.
this guy. Like I clearly like you a little more than maybe I should in this as early as we are. Like that's a check in for me. Like
No, it tells you a lot about that person's character,
That's what I'm-
stability. They're holding
We're
your hand.
talking
They're
about
out with
character.
you. You two are presenting yourself as a unit. Now, regardless of the fact that you're married, engaged, or just been dating for a week, you're presenting yourself as a unit. You're interlocking hands, right, which has some sort of connective powers to it. There is a form of that there's a partnership or some sort of bonding that's happened publicly, and to hold hands with a woman or to hold hands as a couple is making a statement, right? So then you're holding hands, that person feels protected, that person feels adored, admired, wanted, or what have you. And then for the hand to be dropped so that you can look at someone else, that's teaching more about that person's character.
I can assure you, if you let my hand go in public
And look
you'll
at somebody.
never hold it again.
Do you
That
hear?
part.
that's
To
what-
me,
but
it's
never
that.
hold
So
it.
it's really less of a conversation of
It's
like,
not.
hey, can we talk about something that happens? It's more of a note to self. I'm good.
Right, but then I feel like the notes to self have become like what we like the gift and the curse. Like some things, I feel like that's at least a conversation of, hey, are you even aware that you did it? Like,
No,
'cause-
that's too much grace. That's too much grace.
Yeah, no, that's pretty. I think because it's egregious.
Yeah, that's too much grace.
Yeah,
it
that
depends on.
specific thing is
Here's where y'all
egregious.
losing me is the level of egregiousness. Like I'm trying to think of a situation where I would let go of a woman's hand and check out another
And if
woman.
you
Yeah,
did that,
it's
would be
like-
egregious,
Yeah,
it's a-
that
it's-
would,
it's-
but you
yeah,
know what I'm
it's
saying.
blatant
But like, if
disrespect.
we're walking
Specifically.
together and
No, you
'cause
can
here's
be
the
rocking
thing,
my
you-
hand doesn't mean anything.
But we were talking
Yeah,
about
you-
masculinity and femininity and leaving behind
yeah, and
the
my-
over
but
masculine.
and the question that I asked, and that's where we started. We did get off topic because I asked, where do you think that this masculine woman and feminine man came from? And I agree to an extent, but at the end of the day, what more so happened was
I
y'all were
would like to
sold.
answer before your perspective,
Go
please,
ahead.
as a woman.
Go ahead.
I think honestly, what happened in my little world, what happened was, yes, we're very strong in the workplace. Somewhere within that, there's women who don't know how to turn it off.
Mm-hmm.
That's just what it is. And we can say and try to say like, no, she has to be. No, I think especially in our singleness, we just tend to move to more masculine because we're taking care of stuff or whose ever idea of masculine. So then when we get a man, it's kind of just like, oh, okay, no, we already got this, so we really don't need you like that. Then therefore a man is not feeling, he's not feeling needed at the end.
Or respected.
Hello.
Respect.
I don't.
But here's the thing: where that came from was women. Feminism sold y'all into doing what we want to do, or not what we want to do, what we have to do, right? I don't want to work, so I don't know how women got sold on working as well.
Hello.
Now keep in mind that this is
Hold on.
not. Keep in mind that our hands don't raise on all things. Just because this is the way that society has shifted doesn't mean that there's.
I
been
know,
a
and I'm not talking to
participation by
you three
everyone. No, we understand that
directly.
But
Yeah.
to your point, yes, the feminist movement of we can do all things. Men were at war, and so things needed to get done. And so it just got to the point where in the Black community, especially with music, we're hearing things that don't necessarily resonate with us. We just spoke of a song called "Eat a Nigga Ass." Like no, thank you, we don't want to. But we see a shift happening, right?
Oh, for sure.
Of baby thugs.
They're pushing.
thugs
They're
in
pushing more
training.
of it to separate.
So, as a great example, I went out of the country earlier this year, went to a club. The women from that country were beautiful, feminine, soft, elegant, walked in damn near formal dresses like they were going to a gala, but we were going to the club. The Americans, us, there was about 100 of us women. We go into the club. We did not look like we were going to a gala. Now, I'm not going to lie, I did. But a lot of the women did not look like they were going to a gala. We walk in, it's Nipsey Hussle. You see the women from the country standing got their makeup done to go to the club, right? Standing looking beautiful. And then you see the American women going like they're shooting up the club with the finger pistols and crip walking and on the floor twerking. And I'm like, oh my God, that's us. That's how we are seen as Americans. So what I'm saying is we are done. A lot of us grown ass women are done with being piled in to this masculine or this thug-like energy. We're good. We would like to
I
be
get
softer,
that.
and we would also like for masculine energy to just simply
Right.
be masculine energy. Now, I'm not speaking from men energy because, as we know, you know what I'm saying. But
that's true.
masculine energy should not be. Again, we're also speaking of men who do want women who have their shit together, aka take care of me and be an equal man to me. You essentially want a roommate. It's essentially kind of making you gay-ish.
I
a
got
little bit.
something I gotta pull on this because I was trying to figure out what I want to slide in. I'm trying to figure out the difference between a good dude and a simp because they
As it
can be
relates to
parallel.
masculinity.
Well, yeah. I'm not. I take care of mine, but what I'm curious of, like when you look at like, he kind of got played. He's kind of a sucker. You know what I'm saying? Like, because we look at that stuff, and depending on who you do it for and how big you do it,
So we're speaking about masculine and feminine energy, correct? But we're also speaking about adults and children. And the hard thing is today, they all look the same, right? So when you are offering proper
Time out. I kind of want to stop you.
masculine-
I kind of want to stop you there. That's a you part of this conversation.
That's a me part of
Yes,
this conversation.
I'm not trying to separate an 18-year-old from a 50-year-old.
I'm not-
We are
I'm
adults.
not speaking
like
about. I'm not
Oh,
speaking
bro.
about
Like in
actual
personality.
age.
I know,
I'm
but you're
speaking
trying
about-
to. But what I'm saying is like, just because someone doesn't feel the way you feel about not wanting to be masculine anymore and all that other stuff doesn't mean that they're not grown as people.
I'm speaking. I'm just.
I know, but
answering
that's.
his
I'm
question.
saying.
Let me answer the whole thing. and then
I
maybe it'll make
get
sense.
it. I'm just saying like the way you're presenting it is us grown are better than, wiser than, and everyone else who doesn't
Are
think
you
this way.
projecting that you're not grown? Is that what you're saying?
No.
Okay.
I'm not saying
I
that.
didn't get
Again,
that.
that's like, this is more masculine energy. Let me finish talking.
But
you
you
want a
interrupted
masculine
me
man?
while I
Okay,
was
I
talking.
get that.
I
But
don't
this is
want
also
a
my
masculine
podcast.
man.
Okay? So, and I said, time out. Let me just say this one part so we don't lump all of this in. Your point, you can make your point. But downplaying and separating children and grown people, like, just say it without having to sit there and be like, everybody who is masculine as a woman, we're grown, we're not on that anymore. Like, we're all adults. Just put it as adults.
Okay, let me rephrase it then. To
That's all I
cater
was
to
asking.
your preferences.
Not catering. I'm not catering. I'm not asking you to cater. I'm asking you to say it so everyone can understand it, not just from
Okay, I'm gonna do my
your
best.
point of view.
I'm gonna do my best to do that.
Go for
okay.
it.
To answer your question, when there is a man who is doing everything right, as you say, the simp, and going out of his way, and you said, I'm doing my thing, right, but I'm getting played. To a woman who has a certain set of values, I think it's really a shared value type of thing, than it is a maturity level type of thing. So when you're offering the same type of value system behavior to a woman who has similar values to you, then you're not going to get played. But when a woman doesn't have the similar or the same values as you do, then yeah, you might get played.
So it's what's being reciprocated back to you is what the difference is. If you're doing all the things that you feel that a masculine man should do, and it's not being received, that's not your person.
Correct.
So
And that
don't
doesn't
keep
speak to
doing those
maturity
things.
levels.
But does that make
speaks
him
to,
like a
that
simp,
speaks
though?
to
It makes you a
different
simp
right
if you continue to
values.
push your values on someone that doesn't share them. So that's where it gets twisted.
Yeah.
Once they've shown you that they're not in alignment, then it's up to you to remove yourself. Because once you press on, that's the simp area.
And I just want to make sure that y'all, this is not for me. Like,
Well,
I'm
I'm
out here simping. I just want to let y'all know that my simp ass
the
is.
man that's simped,
Yeah, I
or
was-
whoever
because
the
I think that's what happens with a lot of
Because
men. They don't want to
simping
do.
behaviors could be really beautiful behaviors.
Yeah,
to
I
certain
don't
people.
use the word simp at all. I
Because
just
that's
like
a
I like.
judgment in itself, right?
Right, but that's why a lot of men won't do, because it's like, am I doing
Because they're
too
offering
much?
it into the wrong direction.
So that's
right?
why I said, even when in my explanation, like, don't stop doing what you feel you should be doing as a man that you want to be. Like, you should want to continue to be that man. Just because somebody else fumbled the bag, don't stop that. And that's the problem that we tend to look at as we get older, especially when you're in your more seasoned 30s, 40s. We get trapped and stuck with men who tried it with the wrong one, and then when they find the right one, we gotta still be punished for
It's rough.
what happened
That's
to
how.
old girl.
That's the evolution of men, though. So what happens is,
So I gotta get you when you're 20, like
You might.
so
You
once I'm
might.
30,
You
40,
might.
I'm over.
Because he's like, I've done this a dozen times.
Well, do
I
it
cannot
13.
be wrong 12 times in a row. And very well, it could be the 13th time that would work out. But once you've done it and done it and done it
Yeah.
and done it, you're like, okay, I'm out of there. Because
But then you have to start looking at who you are offering those behaviors to.
If you did
And maybe
it to the
just
same
change
person
the
12
person.
times,
And give the person-
the
change
same
the
person
person.
12 times, that's on you
Yeah,
at that point.
right.
absolutely.
So it's up to you to, like, have you done that with 12 completely different women?
Right.
Then there may be some change up in your game. But if you've got a pattern and it's been that same, like, oh, I date essentially hood rats who don't have the upbringing that I would want my woman to have, but I keep Jonathan Majors. He the statement of him wanting a Michelle Obama from somebody who would have
doesn't make
to read the
sense.
book, and not even from just her being white, but if she doesn't have those characteristics,
Sure.
you can't instill that deep of a characteristic into someone that you want to be that mate. There has to be something that's switched in them. There has to be something that they're embodying that aligns with that. So where you have to take the responsibility of saying, yo, like,
A man.
I keep doing this to the same woman, same type of woman. How dare I get a different response?
Right,
But when
because-
you do see different, you should then apply that to the
And
different.
then in all of it, because there's a difference between a woman who's going to look at your behaviors and say, this is some simping ass behavior, nigga won't get off my line. And there's another woman that says, I love how he courts me, but you're doing the same thing.
We deal with it from the man perspective. Like, I mean, from like your homeboys, be like, you did what? Ah, hell no.
But is that man single and happy?
But see, but you guys listen to your homegirls who don't have nobody all the time. So it's always the homegirl who don't have no man,
Yeah, no,
no
I
nothing,
don't.
but she got hella advice, mad advice. Y'all don't listen to them?
No.
Oh, y'all are really rare.
It depends on what it is. But to answer your question, the difference between simping and what was
good
the other
man.
one? And a good man is if you like him or not. The same reason why people say is,
Bingo. Finally, a fucking real answer. That's it.
It comes from I like you
that's the
into
wrong
harassment real quick.
I said the wrong person. If what I like in a man,
Go ahead.
And where a woman is at that time, because she might be on her bullshit in that moment, and she might be in some like, I'm ready for some real shit. So the guy that's offering her that type of behavior, she might classify it as simp ass behavior because she's just in a bullshit season of her life. She's just not really looking for something like that. But when settled down and looking for something serious, then now all of a sudden same behaviors, and where is
It's
where-
beautiful.
Yeah, but that same
Yeah,
behavior
it's
ain't
just
gonna
like
come
if
when
you
you're
like
when you're ready for it. Because at the end of the day, I mean, just based on fertility alone, women have a finite amount of time to bring children into this world, and men want to procreate. So when it comes to picking a woman, we're not gonna wait for you to get into the right season to be courted, because you didn't like. As a man, we spend. Women are given their value at 18 years old. Again, no burden of performance to attract a man. As an 18, 19, 20, 21, 22-year-old woman, you can get invited on a yacht by millionaires. You can be courted by men with everything that you could ask for, and don't have to have accomplished shit to get that man's attention. Okay? And he can make you his wife because you don't have any experience. You're able-bodied to bring him multiple children. And as a man at 18, he has no value. Women are not looking at him as somebody who's stable and who can provide for me and my family. So as a man works for 10 to 15 years and she's chasing a career and or not giving anybody a time of day to actually be her man, then when you get 30 and you're tired of men who didn't add up, now you want a good man, but you didn't want him then, he don't want you now. You see what I'm saying? So if I was on some bullshit. At the end of the day, the difference between a simp and a good man is a simp is doing something nice for a woman and she's not receiving it in a positive manner, and he continues to do it. A good man will do it for the right woman, point blank period. You know what I mean? But and that goes down to, like she said, if she likes you, you're not simping if she likes
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think
because,
she made a really good
because
point
because
by
as a
saying
man,
that part.
as a man, if I'm opening the door for a woman who's not interested into me, I might get a thank you. You know what I'm saying? But
She
a
gonna
woman
roll
who
her
is
eyes,
interested, you
like,
know what I'm saying?
She
If-
gonna lean over and open
you
up
know,
yours.
if I show up to a date with flowers to a woman that isn't interested into me, I'm gonna be in the group chat getting roasted. You know what I'm saying? But if she is interested into me, oh my God, girl, he brought me flowers. He paid for the date. He dressed real nice. You know what I'm saying? It's very simple, whether she likes you or not. So as a man, to avoid being a simp, become the best fucking version of yourself you can be. That is the only thing that is going to matter to whatever woman you want, is you have to be what she feels safe and secure with, okay? So you need to get your money right. You need to get your fitness right. You need to become interesting. You need to have skills. You need to be confident. You need to be dominant. You need to be assertive. You need to be a leader. You need to have status. You need to be respected by your peers. When you do that, you can choose whatever fucking woman you want to choose.
Let him cook.
Okay?
all day long.
What women also need to understand is it takes a lot of fucking work for that man to do that, which brings me back to supply and demand. There are very few men that display the characteristics that I just laid out.
True.
Right? So, since he is rare, since he is exceptional, it is her job to be rare and exceptional to him. Not rare and exceptional like him, but to him. Okay? Because women will sit there and say, I got my own. I don't need you. I got my own money. I've got my own career. I've got my own house. And it's like, cool, that's great for you. Welcome to being an adult. Okay? Because I've had to do that too. And I'm not running around saying I'm an independent ass boss nigga. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm just being an adult. You see what I'm saying? So, those are not things that men are looking for in women. The more success you become as a woman, the more successful you become as a woman, the less opportunities you have to find a man, because now your standards have raised. I make this much, he has to make this much or more. You see what I'm saying? So you're just continuing to shrink the pot. No one is beating down Hillary Clinton or Oprah's fucking door trying to be with her. They can't have no other billionaire. You see what I'm saying? Jay-Z can go downstairs in his flat and go make a new Beyonce. Beyonce can never replace Jay-Z.
I think in 2023, I'm just over this conversation because we've been having it for so many years now. And I think it's like, listen, I'm trying to get back to Bill Cosby, minus the date rape stuff, but Bill
Cosby Show.
Cosby Show,
The family.
Claire,
The
Claire, the
Huxtables. Not the
Huxtables,
Cosby.
and Family Matters, and sitting on the edge of the bed, and then the jazz music comes, and we talk about the life lesson for this episode, and those relationships, and
that's what I want too.
Those relationships, that is the person, the partner that I have in my life. That's the type of energy that I want to flow inside of. But we are still having these conversations that, like, I think so many of us are ready to kind of come to a close, because we've participated on all sides of the spectrums, from being in our bullshit season to thinking that, like, maybe I should be a city girl a little bit, right before I got to eating ass. And then, now it's like we didn't partake. We didn't, none of us. But I think we're just ready. And it seems like having a lot of conversations with a lot of other adults that we friend with, it seems like we're all kind of ready for that Black renaissance of Black love, even though no couple out there is staying together, but ready to come together and say, like, yo, what works for us, as opposed to women ain't, men ain't. We've been there, done that, and there's been a long period of time where we've allowed for the division, whether that is political, whether that is darkness and the devil, to separate us because we are powerful people. But we're just ready to, like, can we stop talking about the divisiveness of us as men, as women, as he's, as hers, and just, like, we want a Black love again.
I get that, but you have to have the conversation in order to get there. So the point that I'm trying to make is if you're ready to be in your feminine role, then you need to be feminine, because the right man, or in your case, woman, or whatever, is not going to try and make you feminine.
Yeah, no, we agree, and we're saying we have been having this conversation probably throughout this entire year. Like, hey, we're good now. We're good over here.
Sounds like
get it.
a
But
mentor
also,
program needs to take
We're
place.
back in We're
Big
back in our
sissy
red
chicks.
nails and heels.
But also, we also have to
they're not as
understand-
pointy anymore.
we have to understand why the men aren't as skilled as once before. Okay, again, even the workplace is supply and demand, right? A man could take care of his family, his woman, and 2.5 kids on a fireman's salary back in the day. Mm-hmm. Okay, you can't do that today, right? Because a house like this costs $600,000, $700,000. You have to make $160,000 to qualify for this house.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Then I have to furnish it and feed the people in it and all that other stuff. So now it's like we both have to work. But the only reason because of that is because of supply and demand. There's more people in the workplace. There's more buyers. Since there's more buyers and not enough homes, I'm going to charge more, right? But if women really wanted to be feminine and all this other stuff, leave work. Go back home.
You just said we can't.
No, wait, no. If you did, they'd have to pay men more or lower the prices of things for men to afford them, and then men could be back to being skilled providers.
Right, but what I'm saying is the conversations that we are having are still a little bit more divisive than we are 3 Black women and 3 Black men in a room, right? So the conversations eventually, my hope as I'm manifesting it, is that yes, there is division. Yes, there's a lot of things that are happening to break us away from each other, but the conversation of, like, yo, do you see what's happening? Yo, do you see what's happening? And us coming back together as a people, friendship wise, y'all should be like big brothers to us. We should be like sisters to y'all, right? But the conversations are still happening of, like, okay, we fucking get it. Like, we get it. We
Okay,
get
so
it.
then what's the solution?
The solution is conversation, same conversations, but with an intention of, so what do we do with what is there to bring us back together and return to the Black love that we have, whether that's on a level of friendship or familyship or relationship. And again, the conversations are, niggas ain't shit, bitches aren't shit. I'm not saying that that's the conversation that's being had. What I'm saying is, there is a lot of divisiveness, lack of accountability. Well, we do this because of this. Well, where do you think that comes from? And it's like, yo, it's happening. But like, how can we come back together so that we can love on each other again?
Well, in order to change something, you have to know where it started.
No, true.
See what I'm saying?
But
So
there is an undertone of intention in those conversations that make it a world of difference.
I think that's how you're taking it.
I'm not taking anyway. I'm not taking this anyway. I'm saying
Just
in
in
general,
general.
how do we have the conversations of like, damn, this shit got crazy? And how do we have those conversations amongst us as Black individuals to say, well, damn, how do we resolve this together?
Well, I also want to stop you there because this isn't a Black show. This is a male and female show, regardless of race, color.
Well, we spoke about how the things that we're talking about have been impacted by culture. So that's what I was stating.
When?
But
'Cause
okay,
my
well then we
entire-
didn't.
I'm asking because my whole thing has always been just dating relationships, male and female. It had nothing to do with Black, white, brown, whatever, because we all have very similar issues when it comes to relationships and dating, masculinity and femininity, regardless of race. Okay, and if everyone wants to get back to that, regardless of color, we have to have the conversations and find a solution. And the only way to find a solution is to be able to have conversations like these, take feelings out of them,
Absolutely.
and come to solutions, right? And that's really where we were getting, like when he asked about the simp versus a good man. And every time he tried to talk, like every time he tried to jump in, he couldn't get a word in because both of you two were talking. Not to say that's a problem, but it's just like, how do you even have a conversation if we can't have one person speak at a time and then let the next person speak? You see what I'm saying? And how do you want a masculine man to address you if he just has to sit back and let you talk without being able to get a word in? Because that's not masculine. Because again, him and I having a conversation, two masculine men talking to each other, he's gonna speak, I'm gonna speak. If we start interrupting each other, the conversation's gonna be over. And me and him can handle each other way different than we would handle a female, obviously. You see what I'm saying? So if we want to get back to femininity and masculinity, we have to find out the root cause of it, which was a lot of women getting educations and going and chasing careers intentionally, because you didn't have to, because like I said, as a young woman, you still had the opportunity to find a man who already had what you wanted. But you wanted to experience college, you wanted to experience getting your own, you wanted to be free and independent. Right? So then you get those women who get into a relationship, it doesn't work because you've got somebody who, I've got my own, I'm not gonna listen to you. And then the relationship falls apart. But now there's a kid involved, okay? So now a kid may be a boy being raised without a father. So he grows up feminine because 85% of the school staff is female. So he gets female ideals at school, he gets female ideals at home, and then takes female emotion into the world where bullies are there, masculine men are there, and he loses. So he becomes a simp, and he becomes a man that women don't want.
So what's the solution?
The solution is that in order to have a masculine man, you need to be feminine all the time, not subjectively, or not. What's the word I'm looking for? Not conditionally feminine. Because most women today will say things like, I will submit for the right man. And it's like, you should just be a docile, submissive person to a man, period, because the type of man that you want is going to look at your attitude and move on, right? Why would he waste his time trying to break you down? Men don't want a hardened woman, but women today are hardened.
Right, and women also don't want a man that they don't feel safe with because they don't have, it's not just physical safety, it's emotional safety, it's spiritual safety. So when a woman assesses immediately like that the masculine energy, and I'm using masculine energy to take away from man, woman, but that the masculine energy presented to her is one where she has to protect herself, whether that's just demeanor, aggression, or whatever, then yeah, that's when a woman has to kind of step into that masculinity. Does a woman want to? No. So when they say the right man, they mean a man that they feel safe, or the masculine energy that they feel safe inside of, to say, I don't have to protect myself because I'm heard, I'm seen, I'm listened to, I'm touched the way I want to be touched, things of that sort.
I get that. And that goes back to what she said or what he said. That's from the man you actually like. That's from the person you actually like. And the problem is you may not know you like him because that masculine man may not present all of these things up front. You see what I'm saying? And you may scare him away before you even had the chance to see if his masculine energy was what you needed.
Yeah, and I think that what you're saying is, for some women it is that way, right? And for others, we present soft in the first place.
Yeah.
And then when we feel a need to say, oh, then we have to, we have to feel like we have to protect ourselves and take on a little bit more masculinity, which I don't know is a assertiveness of some sort.
Yeah.
But we're not. Some women are stepping into it like, Anne, what's your name? Well, why you need to know? Some women are, and some of us are. Oh, my name is Ari.
You know what it sounds like to me though. Sometimes it's like when you have a dude who's like, I wouldn't cheat on the right chick. I'm like, but you've been cheating. But it's like I wouldn't cheat if. It's like, but you've been cheating. You have a history of cheating. But I wouldn't cheat on the right chick. If she did this, if she was like that, and I'm like, bruh,
once
you gonna cheat. Yeah, you gonna cheat, bro. Like it just is what it is. I don't care how fine she is. If you are a habitual, non-stop cheater, that's hard to get out your system.
You're not gonna just turn it off. Like that's part of your mode of operation. That's how you move, and you move that way because it's worked for you. Yeah. Like I'm not upset, and I understand why women have taken on the masculine roles that they've had. But I also do believe that it's more by choice versus being forced. And I feel like that's the excuse that is being used. It's like, I had to go do it. No, you didn't.
What's the solution though for men? Because I asked what the solution was, and
the solution for men is to get their asses in the gym and gain some confidence. Okay? Learn some type of skill, whether it be something handy, something that you can use in a corporate world, something that you can use in a business world, some type of skill that you can monetize, okay? But it starts with the gym personally, or that's my personal belief, because as a man, you cannot move forward without confidence. Because as a man, every day is a competition for you, especially if you're just not blessed the way other men are. You see what I'm saying? 99% of what I'm saying does not apply to me. I'm 6'4". I make the money that we're talking about. I don't have any of these problems, okay? I don't live a normal life. When I see myself in pictures with other people, it looks like they're taking pictures with somebody famous. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm that much bigger than most people. So I am one of the people that people see at Walmart or in the gym. You see what I'm saying? I understand that. But I also understand the life of the average man. So if he is not blessed with height, looks, charisma, he can earn it. You can earn being funny, you can earn having charisma, you can earn being interesting, and you can build confidence by achieving things. So as a man, if you want to be more masculine, you need to get your ass in the gym. You need to put up some weight that you haven't done before so you feel strong. And when you feel strong, someone like me is less intimidating. So you have confidence. You see what I'm saying? And when you have confidence, then you can move and speak to women with a better tone. It's hi, I'm John. You know what I mean? It's like, how you doing? I'm John. Nice to meet you. You know what I'm saying? He has to build that. And that's a masculine approach. But he has to earn it. And once he has that, regardless of if he's 5'4" or 6'4", if he's moving with that energy, you can feel it because he has that confidence, right? And with that confidence comes accomplishments. And with accomplishments puts out more confidence. And feminine women see that. I like this man. He has status. He has charm. He has respect. Those are things that I want in my man. Those are things that I want my son to have. And who better to learn it from than somebody who got it out the mud themselves? You see what I'm saying? So that's the solution, is to present yourself in a feminine manner. Don't be so fucking mean to everybody that talks to you. You know what I mean? And for men, because men have to get it together. Most men suck at everything today.
But we help business kids, because we deal with young from 5 to 70, right?
But there's that big ass age range where they're not listening
And
to
they suck.
anything.
They do suck.
You know what I'm saying? A boy from 12 to 18
Sucks.
is one of the hardest fucking people in the world to talk to. They don't speak. I mean, you cut their hair,
Yeah,
head down, piss poor body language.
Yeah.
And zero confidence. Now, mind you, get them around their friends, you see a completely different kid. But they're so disconnected from us, they think all we're trying to do is tell them how to live their life. And it's like, no, I'm trying to tell you how not to fuck your life up. You know what I'm saying? But that's why I believe that a man in the house is so important. And those relationships need to be worked on and not just thrown away because of all of this sexual attention and thinking that the grass is greener somewhere else. You know what I mean? Marriage used to be a duty. Vows used to mean something. Till death do us part. For better or worse. Not leave when it's worse. For richer or poorer. Not leave when it's poorer. You see what I'm saying? Just because you make money. But you leaving because I'm poor now.
Then that's been
You
a
see what I'm
double-edged
saying?
sword for me, though. Like,
But the thing is then don't get married.
No,
you see what
not
I'm saying?
that.
Don't get married and don't bring no kids into the relationship or into the thing. But if you're going to have a child, that boy needs a father,
Absolutely.
whether you're together or not. Okay? Because
Believe that.
only a man can teach a man how to not get punked, be a loser, because the society don't give a fuck about a man who ain't doing nothing.
Can we say instead of father masculinity? Because I do plan on having children with my wife one day. And I won't have a man in the home, but we definitely will have mentors and we'll have men there.
And
But
that's the man that I'm talking about. He
masculinity.
needs a man in his life. He needs a father. I mean, I don't want to say that because a woman, no matter how masculine she is, cannot teach a boy how to be a man. And a man cannot teach a woman how to be a female. He can teach her how to present and avoid making bad decisions that will disqualify you from the type of candidate you want. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, just statistically based, like, single fathers do way better than single mothers, and we're seeing it in society, which is how it got to where it is today. Emotional men are criminals. They're the ones who are caught doing all the crimes. They're the ones who resort to violence when they're upset, because men don't handle emotions the way women do. You get extremely emotional, your first instinct may be to cry, but it's not necessarily to get violent. Not saying women don't get violent, but that's not your first move. That is every man's first move.
Yeah.
And that's why when you see two men arguing, you've got two types of people. Someone who's extremely calm and either talks down the situation, or another stoic man would be like, this conversation's over. If you really need to handle this, we can step outside. That's somebody who's in control of his emotions, emotionally intelligent, but I see that you ain't. So, but I also need you to let you know that you have to respect me. So conversation over. If it's that serious to you, buddy, we can step outside and handle this. You know what I'm saying? Or you see the one who's just irate, flipping shit over, and is ready to go to violence because he can't control his shit. You see what I'm saying? But I'll tell you what, he didn't learn that from no masculine ass man. He didn't learn that behavior from no masculine man. You see what I'm saying? So, I strongly advise male mentors to put him in sports very early. Very, very early, because that will breed confidence. That will be another masculine, accomplished man that he can look up to, because he can't look up to either of his mothers and be like, that's what I strive to be. Do you see what I'm saying? He needs some type of man to strive to be like. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. What I was saying was about like the whole marriage thing in general. My parents been married for 60 years, bro. So that affects the way you look at a relationship. When you compare your relationship to their relationship, and the whole dynamic is completely different. You know, like it was them versus us. So it's like those relationships are just so hard to come by. It's not like people say love is different. Love ain't different. Right. You know, it's like accessibility is different, but love ain't different.
Duty is different.
Duty is
it's
different.
so easy to leave now.
Yeah.
A marriage license is the easiest contract to break. There's incentives for a woman to leave, which is why 70 to 80% of women are the ones initiating divorces. 90% if she's college educated. Why? Because I've got my own, and on top of that, if you make more money than me, you're gonna have to pay alimony. You're gonna have to pay child support. Like she don't lose by leaving.
Yeah. So the challenge in your situation would then just be to meet someone who has the same standards and values as you do, with the same standards and values of seeing a modeled 60-year marriage that they also want to emulate in their relationship, and understanding the level of communication, continual dating, those sorts of things you've probably been able to see to say this is how you do it, this is how you sustain that. And then having a woman who also maybe has seen that herself or just desires to do the work to say no matter what, till
gonna
death
make it
do
to
us part.
60
That's
years.
what we do here. You know what I'm saying? Versus you taking those values with another woman who maybe hasn't seen it and maybe it's not familiar to her and maybe it's something that she's never desired. She may not have the mental stick-to-itiveness to say, when all hell breaks loose, I'm still here. Because maybe she hasn't seen her parents or someone emulate that. So then it's just finding someone who's, I think a lot of times the conversations that we have with a lot of individuals, male or female, in that stuck place of like constant complaining and women aren't this and women, it's just like, no, you're just in the wrong, you're just in the wrong lane or category of type of people that you're dating. That's it. It's not that there's a lack of it. It's just they're not over there. They're over here.
That's what I feel like.
I disagree. I think there's a huge lack of quality men and women. I think there's a huge lack of quality men and women.
Yeah, maybe lack, but I'm just saying it's not all is not lost or whatever. On a man who said, I've seen my parents married for 60 years. It's something that I desire. I desire healthy, good, probably non-violent, non-cheating, kiss on the forehead type stuff. It's not all is lost because there's a lesser amount of it. It's just putting your efforts towards women who you can identify probably pretty quickly would have similar desires for the future.
But that's what I mean by lack. If there's a very few amount of men and women who both have those values, that's a lot of sifting through.
You know what I
try and
kept
find
saying
it.
to myself, because I desired the same thing. I said, if there's a me, there's a her. And then I just lived. And then she appeared. So it happens. If there's you, there's a her.
I get that, but that's not the normal outlook for most
It's not,
people.
but with God, all things are possible.
I
So
get
then
that,
if
but
there's
everybody
a you,
ain't got
there's-
God either.
Do you
So
have
we're-
God? So if there's a you, there's a her because God.
Word.
Okay, amen. Let the word say.
Yeah, no, I get that. And I'm not saying you're wrong. Like, there's exceptions to rules, but exceptions don't make rules.
They don't.
You see what I'm saying? So I'm glad that works for you and it worked for you, but that's not the normal route that most people can take.
No, there's not.
They can't just sit there and say, there's a me, so there's a her, and hopefully they find that person.
It happens for some, it
you have
doesn't
to
for
have to
others.
work for everything you get. Period.
Yeah, faith without works is dead.
Period. So if he wants a woman to take serious and be married, he has to be better himself to attract that.
Absolutely.
And to demand that from said woman that he's dating.
Yeah, we've agreed on that too.
Yeah,
Like,
not-
you
not
have to
just
be,
him, but
you
that's
have
just
to,
anybody.
anybody that is saying I only want the finest of water should probably be the finest of water as well. Like the thing that we desire, we should be that thing.
No, see that's where I say it, like because you don't have to be, as a woman, the six-figure super
We're not saying
earner.
we're saying we're not talking in
I
terms
would just
of
speak of character traits.
character. Yes.
Yeah. You would still want those
Like-
character traits.
Which character traits? Because we just agreed that men are not looking for a confident woman.
No, we're talking about values, right, and character, but we're talking about values. So if you are a
that's fine. That's
person
just where
that
the divide
values,
is.
if you are a person that values loyalty, then you would be best suited to find a woman that values.
Do you think most people don't
loyalty.
value loyalty?
It's not that. It's like this. It's one of those things. So here's what we do. We do a game, and it's like you have three things. You're putting your perfect person together. You have three things, three ingredients you're putting into this person. Can you do it? And it's like, I would challenge all of you to do it. And then I'll break it down, and it shows you what's important to you, and it shows what they've been through to see why that's important.
Three character traits.
Absolutely. Three character traits. But also, go ahead.
No, that's impossible because if you want,
But do it, though.
the three important things you could have, a lot of people have those. But if they don't have the rest of the things that matter as well,
I hear you.
then you don't have it. Because you can sit there and say, I want somebody who's loyal, honest,
Yeah.
kind.
Okay. But
Very
now,
important things. But there's a lot of loyal, honest, kind people who are
Trash.
fucking dogs who I'm not attracted
So
to.
there you go.
Who aren't funny, who are boring, whatever
so
the case
now
may be.
You have to take one of those out then. What comes out and what goes in. And that's how you kind of needle your way down.
Yeah, but three, I mean, I don't think
it's a
anybody who's
losing
got
battle.
three.
It's a losing battle, but I'm telling you, it's a narrowing the scope. You know, because you find out what's important to you. We do this all the time. I have mine, and it has worked for me to this point.
What's
where
your 3?
Yeah, let me hear these 3. This magic.
Hell no, I can give it to you when y'all are done. Y'all not
Okay,
gonna
fine.
sift
You're
off
right.
my
You're
damn
right.
answer.
It's his game. Where you want to start? You want to start with me or her?
Oh,
We'll go
wait,
around.
I don't
I
want to.
already gave my list,
Yeah, I'm
and
good.
it was more than 3.
No, but
I will
that's
say-
the point of his game is the
Yes.
3 most important things that you value, and which is tied back to the if there's a me, there's a her. You know, or you know what I'm saying. So that's what he's explaining. Basically, like because you could sit there and like I said, you could sit there and say loyalty is very important to me. I'm not going to date someone who's disloyal. Someone who's honest. I'm not going to date a liar. You know what I mean? And then someone who's kind. Okay, those are your 3 core things. But if they don't match up
Because you
other
met
places,
that person and you weren't attracted to him. So now you got to.
so now you got to now you got to take kind away and put attraction in. Loyal, honest and attractive. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's why those 3 is like what's
Who made this
really
game up?
important.
This is something I don't know who did it. We created it in the shop, and it's crazy conversations you hear. And I implore you all to do it with your friends. It's wild. The shit you hear, you'll be so disappointed in people. Like crazy disappointed. Like really, that's what you thought?
Yeah.
And it's like
I know effective communication is high on my list.
Boom.
If we can't have a conversation where both of us are capable of listening and comprehending to understand and to move forward, I can't see that being my life partner. I
Okay.
can see that being somebody I hang out with every now and again, but as far as like my actual, so I know that's one of my ones.
I have a question. With effective communication, where is there an end result in that communication? Because I think a lot of people say they want communication but aren't very good at it themselves. Not saying you, and this has nothing to do with you, but it's more or less like a lot of people like to talk but don't get to a resolution.
No, that's to me
And that's
is
what I'm saying, like, is
resolution
there-
based.
and-
And that's like how
Okay.
what I mentioned before, like to me a conversation or a disagreement is to get to a resolution. Like I don't believe in just I can be louder than you. I'm not about to play that game. Like here's what the issue is. How do you propose we get through this issue? Or if this is this an issue that we can't, and that's just one that we either put it in the 80-20, like in the 80-20 world,
Agree
that's
to
our
disagree.
20, or is that a deal breaker? And if that's a deal breaker, I wish you well. I think a lot of times in relationships, we hang in there for the parts that we wouldn't typically. And I think that's what causes the divisiveness and the issues and the attitudes and the problems. We don't know when to walk away. And so a lot of the times it's like when you hit that point where you're like, I know, like we've all been there where you've been like, I knew that person was my person years ago, but I got comfortable or I got lazy or the sex was good.
But
Like
that's why
it was all,
people
and
should
so you built that resentment, that
You should
bitterness.
just judge people off of their character. Like, yeah, you could be fine, but you can dead ass be trash, and that's okay too. You could go be trash elsewhere, but I think in just relationships, period, like you want somebody who's fine and all this stuff, and I get it. Like the whole fine thing, I don't. My dream man doesn't look like everybody else's. I guess, especially when it comes to money. My whole thing is money management skills are more important to me because I done seen people doing it off of $50,000 and you'd be like, oh, you living? Absolutely, because I have good money management skills. I steward my money well versus you having 6 figures and you have a foreclosed house. It makes no difference. So I think that's what my views is different. So I think in the world to just help everybody out, just fuck with people who got good character, who has integrity.
But I mean, yeah, I get that. But that goes back to what he was talking about because it's like all that character shit goes out the window when somebody's fine, when somebody's turning you on, when somebody's exciting you.
If they're cute to you. Well, I think attraction is huge, and I don't mean, and that's why I agree with you when it just says attractive to you. I don't think that anybody should try to date anybody who they're not attracted to because it's that much easier to look elsewhere. And having integrity, like, yo, you testing my fucking character because your fucking ass is ugly and she fine as fuck. So like that's just what it is. So if you just it's not even choosing the person who wants you, but you do have to have a level of attraction. And I get it. It goes from harassment
Yes.
to
Compliment.
fucking harassment to a compliment real
Depending on
quick.
who's giving it.
But as we mature, we handle it differently. We say, thank you so much for the compliment. I'm just not interested. Versus, when you're younger, this nigga was all on me. Yeah, it's different as we're older and stuff like that. But relationships, it's like, fuck with who fucks with you, who has good ass characters. I would love to do my top 3. I think mine would just be you gotta love God. I'm just gonna say characters because integrity. You have to love God. That's number 1. Have integrity and a sense of humor. Like, I'm funny as fuck, yo. So I couldn't even imagine being in a house with you. I'd be like, we ain't gonna laugh. I'm fun. If you don't laugh at me, it's we're never gonna go anywhere anyway. And you could be kind of ugly and have a sense of humor. I'm just like, ooh, he kind of cute. I like him.
But again, that becomes the cute to you, and that's why
It has to
it's
be
not
cute,
a I don't need you textbook fine, but I need to look at you and be like, ooh, when we get home, ooh, he cute to me. There's got to be some little something there.
I think that's the only luxury men get to make up for, is they can make up for looks in other areas. But men don't look at women that way. Even if you see a man with a woman that isn't to your beauty standards, he also may see her that. It's like, I know she's not a 10, but I like her.
Yeah, she
but I'm
has
not gonna
to win
tell,
these.
I'm not going
She
to
comes
tell
in
her
in
she's a
these.
10. I'm not going to pretend that she's the prettiest woman I've ever had. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's important, and I think today's society has made it not as important. Like, if they don't like you for you, they're just not the one. And I think that's a very selfish and toxic type of mindset to have. Like, if you don't like me for me, you're not the one. And
For that person, maybe. I don't know. What else are we leaving behind? Were we leaving anything else behind?
yeah, it said you want to date, we want everything that happened before me.
What was that?
Everything that we're leaving in 2023. Everything that happened before me.
People before you.
Yeah. I think it was just people prior to. Like who? Who was it?
So just not. Well, basically, I guess not bringing up your exes into conversation. I think that's
I
a
only
no
have one ex.
brainer.
And then I've been single ever since.
But no, I think it's a no-brainer. I mean,
remember.
you bring
I don't
your
remember anything.
experiences into your life, you learn your lessons or whatnot. But I don't think it needs to have a face and a name. Yeah, I don't think you really have to bring those things up.
Being bitter about your past.
Yeah, because that means you're still living in it to a certain degree.
It's
You
not
haven't
ready,
learned
you're
your
not done.
lesson.
Yeah, it's still cooking.
But if that's where you're at, then that's your signal probably not to date. Take a second, deal with what you need to deal with. But yeah, I don't need a full rundown of who you were with and what she did.
No,
and-
you're right. Just leave that shit in the past. Leave that in 2023. When
Don't-
you come
we're
over
leaving
here
it.
and talk to me,
You're trying to get to know
Present and
me.
future. Yes.
don't need to. Don't. You want to offer that information? Fine, but I don't. If I tell you I don't want to hear it, I don't want to hear
Right,
it.
because
I don't
there's
know
women.
no man who wants to hear about
Nobody,
your ex.
yeah.
Your man, dude, never wants to hear about nobody piping his chick down. I just don't want to hear it. And that reminds me when no, it's not a good look. It's not a good look at all.
Was that the end of our
Of that list, what did you have?
Oh man, like I said, I'm gonna leave some of this stuff for y'all to hit, but I'm not even here.
No,
Some stuff-
give me one more, and then we'll wrap it up.
All right, check it out. Girls trips. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's something girls love to do a girls trip, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's you want somebody to do their thing, but I've been a recipient of lots of girl trips. You know what I'm saying? So I'm
What do you
I
mean
know-
a recipient?
when the whole behavior takes place, I'm usually there
He
for
was
it.
the attraction for the girls
So,
trip.
you see what I'm saying? Somebody's on a vacation in Miami, we in Miami, or somebody's on vacation in California, somebody's on vacation in Arizona, doing some shit they shouldn't have been doing. It always lands over here. You know what I'm saying? So now when you got your girl going to vacation, you're like,
Yeah,
I
what
see
y'all,
what
what
they
y'all
do on
finna get
girls'
y'all
what are you
to?
doing? You know what I'm
your
saying?
trust
See,
in
when
God
I'm in
and
a
pray.
relationship, I'm just gonna be honest. If I'm single, I'm solo tripping and I'm girl tripping. When I'm booed up, it is my boo, my woman, my wife, my girl, my partner. I'm trying to spend I'm trying to have balance and have my social life, but there's no girls trips no more really for me unless it's
Unless y'all go together.
unless it's the bachelorette situation or whatever. Yeah, unless we're
But-
going together because it's That was cute. That was cute.
That's not even what I meant by it.
But it worked. It was funny. Take it.
It is.
Take
but
it.
Bachelor, like, would you go to a bachelorette party without her?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm saying it's a theme thing, but like sometimes women just want to get away, and I'm just never relationshiping with someone who I'm itching to get away from. Like a lot of times married women and married men are on this like, and I can go be myself. First of all, we're best friends. We hang out. I just want to be with my person. So there's not a lot of girls tripping happening because those things happen prior
No, I
to
mean, that's
relationshiping.
good and healthy. What do you, go ahead.
For me, again, that goes to the character of your woman. If for me a girl's trip isn't an escape plan, it's
And for some
not
it is,
it's I'm literally just bonding with my girls, or knowing me, the food there was on point. Like, you going where, girl? Like, let's go eat. Like, I'm not the type of person who I'm gonna do something completely out of character just because I crossed the state line or a country line. Like, who I am at home is who I'm gonna be on vacation. I'm here to eat, have a good time, commune with my girls. Like, I'm just testing out a new spot, and if it happens to be I'm with my girls, cool. But I'm not gonna disrespect my relationship for a weekend.
No
Like, and
Kiki
I'm
with
not
Usher.
right, and I'm not a one night stand girl, so that's not in me at all.
That's
like,
why you
whether
get
Southern
the
I'm-
WhatsApp.
Yeah,
That's
so
the
like
Southern Belle that's right there.
I'm not. So that's not even on my radar.
You get
like,
the WhatsApp from the men in DR. I'm just
Oh, but I'm not even. I'm barely exchanging information because I'm like, dude, you don't live where I live. Like, I ain't building nothing with you. I ain't a bit more concerned. Like, but you want to tell me where you go eat if you a local? Like, that's what I ask the locals for. Where y'all hang out, what y'all eat. Outside of that, I don't even know what the heck. I could care less, especially if I got a man at home. Like,
Are you asking
No,
if
this
you want to
is-
trust her?
This is just
Don't
a conversation
fucking
piece. I don't want
trust
y'all to look at me.
Oh, I
like
thought
I'm
you
the
were
person-
trying to leave behind
Hell
girls
nah.
trips.
No.
I know.
I was like, I mean,
no.
they're cool.
How do you feel about girls trips?
Me, you know, it
sounds
really,
like
it,
you.
it really,
Is your woman going on a girls trip?
it depends what women it is.
Hello.
It always
That's what
depends
I'm
what woman
And
it
you got
is.
4.
And
Wait,
then,
I'm talking about your woman. What?
like
The woman that you
the woman
are.
I'm with,
Not
like
currently, but the one, like, just hypothetically, you have a wife. She wants to go on a girls trip. What?
What's your first response when she says, "Baby, I'm
all
going
going?
out"?
yeah, 'cause you got certain
Who
people.
gonna be there?
You got certain people who push the envelope on shit. So it's like if you have like Megatron whole this organizing it, then y'all gonna be on some whole shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if you want to take that trip, I'm like, if we want to play this game, cool. You know, because I can go to Vegas next month and we can both totally ruin our whole shit. You see what I'm saying?
Wait, you know who? Yeah.
Yeah,
But
see what I'm
again,
saying?
it's knowing your woman. So
Exactly.
like if there's a pattern of when you with this girl, you lose all self control, then
Sure.
that's a different situation. But if you know that, like, I'm the type that I could go and hang out with anybody because I'm gonna walk away. If you're going left and you want to twerk all night, cool. You
What's
have
wrong
fun.
with twerking?
Nothing at all.
Oh, okay.
But I'm saying, like, if that's not the space I'm in, if I'm not gonna just leave with some random guy, I'm like, okay, cool. Well, you go do that. I'm going back to the room. Like, she'll be the first one to tell you. There are plenty of times where we didn't went on vacations, and I'm like, yo, I need a day of rest. So y'all have fun, live it up. I'm gonna be here with a book. Y'all do what y'all need to. Like,
You are
everybody's
a
on
very-
vacation.
you are a very rare woman.
Yeah, like, I'm not going to jeopardize.
And we don't be outside because you done put me in. You
No,
put,
but
you put
I'm
me in
not
it. They
like-
be outside.
No, but I'm saying, like, there
I
are
be seeing
times.
now.
No. But
I
I'm
know
saying,
what
like,
you're
there are times where, not even just on some hype shit, like, literally, it could be like,
You
y'all
need
are
to
going
rest.
to dinner.
No, literally,
or
you need to
I'm
rest.
the type with my day in, day out is so boom, 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 that when I say I'm on vacation, I need at least one of them days to be
a vacation.
I'm nothing. Don't ask me nothing. Don't act like I'm flipping these pages and I'm enjoying the sun with a nice margarita and something good to eat. I'm not stressing about all this
Tag
other
me.
stuff.
No, it's like tag in, say something. I was
Oh,
like, yeah.
I don't. Y'all know I don't talk over people. That's not my strong point, and it doesn't sound good on audio.
Well, hell, to me, I look at it as you're a product of your environment. You hang out with 5 losers, you're gonna end up to be a loser. You can't hang out with 5 gym rats and not go work out. You know what I'm saying? You can't hang out with 5 hoopers and not go play basketball. Because every time you hit them up, they're gonna be like, "We're going to hoop." Well, I don't want to hoop. Well, then don't come with us. You can't be our friend. Okay? So if you hang out with 5 hoes, you're a hoe too.
I
Okay.
was gonna-
And no, I'm not saying that that's the girl's trip.
No. I have a question for
go
you.
for it,
Kind of why we're on this. Pretty much hang out with losers, but it just to piggyback off of that. I would say I'm newly single, so I'm trying to understand what's important for dating. But I was curious from a man's point of view, not talking about having sex with her, but like somebody that you're committing to, like you can see yourself being with. How important is her wise counsel, her people around her, when you guys go to choose? Is it just
Her,
like
you talking about her friends?
yeah, just her friends?
Her friends are a huge part of being
You would
chosen.
actually okay.
Especially depending on how close she is to said
Okay.
friends. Because I don't want a woman who's always with her friends and always out. I don't want that woman.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you may have character, you may have integrity, so may your friends. But that's not visually what I'm saying. If every story on Instagram is y'all toasting, y'all at a brunch, y'all out of town, y'all getting all kinds of experiences that I want to show you, then you've already done too much for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not... and then also, we just have to take into consideration the things that can happen while being out. It has nothing to do with you and your choices. It also has to do with the people that are also there and the things that they can do. You know what I'm saying? There ain't no, not in my relationship, it ain't gonna be no more girls trips like that. If I can't go with you, then we don't need to go. And it's not the same for a man to go on a man's trip because men do not have the same sexual options as women do. So you said, oh, we can play this game and I'll go to Vegas. You can go to Vegas and strike out. We've been to Vegas and struck out badly.
He's
I
like,
don't know if I've ever been to
actually,
Vegas and struck out.
Okay.
That particular one, I don't know
Like,
if
we
I've
can't
ever
trust
been.
you to go nowhere.
I'm straight.
But-
I control the wave over here. I'm just saying, I don't.
You may get a few attention and all that, but I've been to plenty of places out of town where I had a girl I was speaking to, but nothing happened. You know what I'm saying? But all a woman has to do, if she's feeling it, if she gets too drunk, if she wants to, if she's just, hey, we're in a different area code, because she might just be a completely different person when she goes out. Like what you said, I can respect that, and but I mean,
But I see what you mean.
but
There are
that
those
there
that-
isn't, so it could be one of those situations because all the woman has to do to get sex is offer it. You see what I'm saying? So go ahead.
So to that caveat, so that means all the things that I like to do, you're willing to do. Because if you're gonna be my,
Your man should.
So-
If you're a hell of a traveler, you should pick a man that enjoys traveling
But
and that
even
has
in
the
traveling,
means to.
and even in traveling, there are some men who
find a
something
man who
that's
traveled the
typical.
same.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
I had somebody who traveled the exact same. We want to go home at the same time.
Right.
We want to turn up at the same time. We up at the same time.
But there's some guys
All
who
of
don't want
that.
to do like the super feminine things.
Like what? In
Spas
traveling.
and stuff?
Huh?
Like a spa or something?
Well, I
Or-
would hope you want a spot because
Yeah, what would you consider
But,
feminine?
Like there are just certain
feminine
things
on
like okay, like I dated a guy who wine really wasn't his deal. Like he could sit through it, but I could tell it was like that's not his jam. Like I was like, we gonna have to find this man like a whiskey bar or like a bourbon situation. And like, but I know like, and he would sit through it, but there comes a time where I just don't want you to sit through some shit to pacify.
Don't play
you
wine on
because
some
it's
Would you
always-
shit,
would
though.
you sit
But no,
through
it's
it
not
with
feminine,
him?
but I'm
though?
saying he didn't like.
Would
Yeah,
you
like
sit through the
I don't
bourbon?
do bourbon, but I would sit through.
Well, if you're willing to
Y'all
sit through,
put-
then he should be willing
yeah.
to sit
But
through.
there's a difference. It's like if you're sitting through something and it's like everybody in the room know you sitting through some shit because you're just not in that
kindle the vibe a
space.
little
Well,
bit.
then
Yeah,
maybe
then it's
go
not
with
a
a
match
couple.
of-
Maybe go with a
say.
couple so you and the girl can go do the wine
I
thing
just
and him
like
and the guy
you
can go
should
do
be-
something.
For me, I want to be in a relationship where I would hope my man would never have to have those thoughts.
I believe in
Then
you
it's-
from knowing you from however long we've been sitting here. I believe 100% everything you say. I would trust you 100%. But I just, it's that's a character thing. That's
Right,
I'm
that's a
putting-
And that's
personality
earned-
thing.
Yeah,
It's
and
not
that's
a
an
matter
earned
of-
thing. Like I would hope that I earned that through my actions. That you can trust that whether I'm right next to you or in another room, I'm carrying us at all times. Like I'm never not us. And so if I'm in that space, like it should just be, babe, have fun. Like there shouldn't be, and the same for you. I should be like, oh, babe, enjoy. You and Troy tear it up. Like, because
But
I
also
know
though,
you're
for
not.
what though? Because the way I look at it, especially as men going out of town, like we're not going to go lay out and tan
No,
on
you're
a
going
beach.
to golf,
We're
or
not-
you're going to like.
Yeah, I mean, maybe golf is
I
probably
mean, when we
golf
talk
is
about-
probably as far as it goes as to what we're gonna do. But what are 4 grown ass men going to Vegas for?
When
To
we say
club and meet
girls
bitches.
trips, of course, we talk about the bachelorette stuff. We talk about like event stuff or so and so's birthday,
There's
whatever.
healing trips. That's what
There's
we do.
there's those.
Yeah, I go.
It just depends on the intention. It depends on who's going. It depends, like, is it a turn up type thing? It really just depends. But then there are like the constant, like every weekend. You know, it's like I'm with my girl crew,
Yeah.
whatever, and you're in a relationship. It doesn't really make sense.
Yeah, if she's every weekend trying to get away from you,
Well,
then
that wouldn't never work. But I'm talking about general girls trips, even and or guys trips. Like, if me and my boys are going out of town, like at least I know what my objective is. I'm not going to sightsee with my friends. I'd rather go do that with my woman. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
but
saying?
to like
I'm not going to Costa Rica to go. Was
Fish.
that, no, was that?
Zip
line.
Zip line.
Yeah, I'm not trying to.
You
do
But,
that.
I'm not trying
Arizona.
to zip line with
I've
my
heard about what
guys. That's
goes on
something
the
that I would
guys'
rather
trip,
do with
and
my
I'll be
girl.
like-
You know what I mean? Like I'm going to go to the clubs or the bars to see the Spanish women there. Like that's what I'm going there for. And I believe that that's what my friends are going there for. Now I know women don't go with those intentions. However, women get that attention. Period. So, for instance, as a woman, you and your girls, y'all all fly, y'all can get invited to a table. And at that table, you're going to be constantly hounded by men. Whether you accept it or not, that's the position that's the predicament you put yourself in on purpose. Why not take free drinks? You know what I'm saying?
I think it
get
just depends on, like, I think it's just her entire point. Like, I can be in a relationship and you could just trust that I can go on a girls trip with the whole friends if I wanted to, but I'm going because she's going through she's getting a divorce. She probably gonna go back to hoeing. She might hoe out on this vacation. I don't know, can't call it. I got her back though. Like, girl, have fun. Don't let her get into too much trouble.
Yeah, no, I couldn't have my woman doing that because I don't want you associating with people who are falling off.
No,
if her life is falling apart, you don't need to be a part of her falling life. We going this way. I understand that that's your girl and y'all got a relationship, but sometimes you have to let people be where they are. And you are now in something better. You are now in something that's going towards something that you've always wanted. That person can't come. So if she's going through some shit and might be going back to hoe, let her go do that.
Wait, she can't be a part of the journey. Like, she can't be my friend. Or I just can't go on a trip with her.
I'm saying, what is the point? What is the point of having someone who could potentially bring you into some shit that could compromise where you're going? Because look at it this way. Look at it this way. Say you grew up in a gang, but you decided to make better choices and you went and got a job. But your gang homeboy needs a ride, or gang homegirl needs a ride, and you have an interview to go to. And they say, stop for gas. Like, no, I have more important things to do. I can't be with the gang life no more. Okay? So I can't give you a ride.
That's a great example.
You see what I'm saying? Like, this, you are no longer a part of my life. I'm sorry. It's that simple. Sometimes you got to drop people.
Yeah, no, we're right. We're talking about girls trips though, as opposed
I know, but
to
your example was she's just got divorced. She might
I'm
go back to home.
giving. Man, we got to get out the weeds of these examples. Oh my god, what I'm saying is, I can be trusted. She can be trusted. There are people that can be trusted to be in a relationship, and I'm not going to make you look dumb. I'm not going to Keke Palmer usher you. I'm just not. So you could just let me go on a girls trip. Now, the frequency of it, the people, like that's a whole. These are all different conversations, right? But if I'm in a relationship, I do want to experience out of country things, unique experience things, the best of restaurant things with my person. But if it's a healing retreat, if it's a bachelor party, if it's a random girls. But local stuff, like every weekend, I'm out with the girls. Like, no,
I don't meet with anybody that much besides my goddamn gym people every Saturday. I'm like, yeah, these are all my friends. Yes.
But even with that, it's like I don't think I want to see anybody every day. I'm
going to the gym. I'm going to the gym, and they just happen to be there.
See you exactly.
Yeah.
Like I want to live my life, but I don't want to limit myself in any regard, and I want some stuff to be mine, and I want some stuff to be his, and I want to be secure in what we have to be like, that's your thing, and this is our thing.
That's a rare relationship.
And
That doesn't
that's
sound to me like
why-
marriage and duty, because like That's what marriage is
No, we
we
still make
just
sacrifices.
vowed before God to do this together no matter what.
Yeah, no, we
All
still
right?
make sacrifices.
Now, that being said, there ain't no separate. You guys have now become one.
Yeah,
You're
we're
just
talking about going
referring
out
to
dinner.
you're just talking
Yeah,
about
I'm
you're
talking-
referring
talking
to
about going out to
trips,
dinner.
right? Because in this instant, it's just like if you're in a
Just an
relationship, like I like going. You know, I'm a big stepper. I already know my man ain't gonna be stepping like that. So, but that's still my thing. I don't want to lose myself because I want to live in a nigga's skin for real, for real.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I'm on a girl trip, it's so sad because I'm gonna be texting my man the entire time. Like,
So
I'm
then
ready to come
that
home.
begs the question: what's the point? You either go with me, we either go travel together.
I'm going to support.
Or you
We're
don't do
talking
that.
about so
I'm just going to
infrequently.
support.
We're talking about the difference
good
between
point.
an infrequent and a
Infrequent.
specific type of event versus versus hanging like still having a single bachelorette life and a bachelor life while relationshiping. We're talking about very infrequent things. Like it's one of our close friends' birthdays on Saturday, right? If she
Yeah, it's a
deemed that
milestone.
it's a milestone birthday, and if she deemed that this is a girl's dinner, cool, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna come back
Dinners
home.
are fine. I'm talking about trips.
And then
A
also
girl's
trips,
dinner,
Sedona.
but yeah,
It's like it's the location. I'm not
The
going to
location
Egypt
changes
with
too.
my on a
There we
girls
go.
trip.
That type
I'm
of
going to
stuff.
Egypt with
my-
Babe.
Sedona.
I'm really not going to Mexico or Tulum on a girls trip.
That's-
Vegas is about the farthest I might go, and that might have to be for a bachelorette party or birthday party or something milestone in that
See,
nature.
my
or
arrogance
work,
doesn't allow me
but-
to trip too much. Like I'm like, if you find a better deal, girl, do it.
That's me.
You know, because I'm like,
Well, yeah, sure, but I'm also,
The bar is set
but
high.
that for me that starts with the go on the trip, but don't come back here.
I hear you.
You see what I'm saying? And again, location does matter. You want to go to
Location
Sedona,
matters.
fine.
Have at
You know what
it.
I'm saying? But girls turn up trips, bachelorette parties.
No,
hell
what about
no.
a birthday party?
A birthday party out of town? No.
Yeah.
I just
No.
don't live in a
Unless we're going together. Like I don't have to go to the party, but I need to be there. Does that make sense?
You
like
do not trust who you're dating.
We're going to Vegas. It's not that I don't trust her. It has nothing to do with trusting her. It's the simple fact that like that's not conducive to a healthy relationship. And
But
it's
it's
not
not the
conducive to
weekend
It's
duty
one
either.
time this year.
Yeah.
You
One
gotta pull
time.
back the curtain, Troy. Because if you pull
happened
back the
once.
curtain, you be like, all right, this is the type of stuff that can happen. Because they don't really have a realization for the shit that can go wrong.
Okay, yeah,
So-
basically, without trying to, it ain't got nothing to do with her. It has to do with the simple fact that she will be in positions where men are going to constantly talk to her. Okay, it's not about
That's
being.
gonna happen at the
That's
grocery store.
outside.
It's not about being insecure or nothing like that. You see what I'm saying? Like it has nothing to do with that because if you think that something else is better and you can have better, go for it.
Right.
Okay. My point is that dudes can slip things in your drink.
Boom. I was hoping you got there.
Dudes can feel up on you because of the places that you're in, and that will make you feel uncomfortable. And there's not a whole lot you can do about it. You know what I mean? Y'all all had your ass touched by somebody you didn't want your ass touched in a club setting.
Now, what if she
Okay.
wants to go on a trip? Because I don't go out of the country to go to clubs. I never have.
I know that's not the point. Even the beach. Now you're
What
in
if
a
she says
bikini.
it's a resort?
Huh?
What if she says
It doesn't matter.
You gotta be there.
It doesn't exactly because that my point is why I don't have to partake in you and your girl's shit, but why do you think that it's okay for me to not be there?
No, I
My
don't.
see what I'm
thing is,
saying?
if you're not in our shit, then when that nigga touch my ass, then what you gonna do?
Right,
Like,
'cause
what
you're
At least I'm in a potential radius to come and do something. So, for instance, you're at a club with your girls. I'm at the hotel room. The club's a mile away, and you text me. There's these guys that's acting crazy. I can at least go up there.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? But I can't do shit from here, and you're in Costa Rica. Okay, that's just you just put yourself in a position. I can't do nothing about it.
But you
On-
know, it's crazy. Like, what was she doing? Oh my God! Before she met you, like, how was she out there just protecting herself and making sure that she also had her head on a swivel? Like, we are grown women out here participating in life, right? And so we're not. I don't know why it always goes back to the club, but just in general, going to the resort, going to San Diego, going to lay up on a beach, going to do some healing stuff in Sedona, like. These are not environments where I get it. We are women and we are vulnerable to men and to other forces out here. But just these small, little, infrequent, not too far away from home, again, not crossing country lines, not using our passports. I think we'll be fine.
Certain things are fine. Like I said, location matters.
Yeah.
Again, Sedona is fine. A healing trip to Sedona is fine.
What about a
San
healing
Diego?
trip to
Trip to
San
Vegas?
Diego?
No.
What about going to San Diego and we're going to a resort and we're going to be doing some beautiful wellness type work on the sand?
Then
We might
That-
be in a bikini, and I know that might mean rape
okay.
is imminent.
And that
But ask this though: how many women
what I
do you
heard.
know that have been touched inappropriately? Not to buzzkill the whole live shit, but
In
I
a
think
cl- in a
all it-
cl- in a
no,
club?
I mean,
Yes, with alcohol,
I'm talking,
yeah.
Period.
not no booty grab or a breast squeeze. I'm talking about somebody went way too far. Like the situation they got. Y'all know nobody?
Oh, do we know somebody?
Yes.
The only person the only time I can, I could loosely consider something like that, it wasn't, no, it was reciprocated. Like, they were both on the same page. I've never been in a situation where somebody didn't want the attention they were getting.
I've never
I
seen
mean,
to
last time
that
we saw it, it
degree.
was Trey Songz did it to somebody, but
But I don't know
outside
that-
of that, just not living in light.
No,
and
but just
Yes,
San
yes,
Diego?
until it's no. You see what I'm saying?
But that's
San
what I'm saying,
Diego
like-
healing trip for a day or two, sure, that's also fine. But you're not going on a week something to Hawaii. You're not going.
we've already established
I don't
that.
want to.
Yeah,
I want to
yeah,
see my
no.
man
I'm
anyway.
talking
And that's-
after
and that's
3
another
days,
thing.
I'm feeling like a crackhead a little
Yeah,
bit.
exactly, and that's another thing. The other reason is for what? We can plan trips together. We can go places together. We can go see the world together. And guess what? You can wear the bikini you want. You can have the drinks that you want. You can turn up the way you want.
No,
Because
we're
I'm there.
we're all in agreement with that. We're just talking about the very infrequent and very close trips that
It's
are
just one
safe
birthday
and
trip.
appropriate. It's not.
Yeah,
not.
the birthday trip
Yeah.
just depends on where it's
There's
at.
also traveling. There's also two dynamic individuals.
That's another
in
thing.
a
I'm also
relationship
speaking from
where
a
there's
position of
traveling.
I pay for everything too, because I am a provider. So you're going to this trip that I'm paying for without me? Shit.
See, that's,
Yeah.
I was like,
That-
I'm like, you going on vacation? I'm like, cool, because I'm like, I didn't just save. I don't know how much while you've been gone. You know, like I went to dinner by myself recently. The last couple months by myself, I'm like, I thought the waiter was trying to hit on me or some shit. What do you mean $34? That's it? I drank tonight. That's it? I'm in love with one place by myself now. What?
Right?
It is amazing.
Right? I think at the end of the day, whatever works for two individuals that have
Exactly.
agreed on something. Because for me, it's giving a little controlling, right? But maybe it's not at all. It just wouldn't work for a me, right? So for whoever the dynamics work for, like, yo, I'm not really with this. I'm not really with that either. And it's okay. Cool. Let it work. But we set these like, well, women shouldn't be and men shouldn't be and masculine
It's you
shouldn't
and her
be. And
shouldn't.
I've got a
works.
question. Because we can, first of all, leave It's Giving in 2023 too.
I'm gonna keep saying it. We're in 2024. I just kind of got it.
I have a question.
I was like,
Is
I like
your
it.
job controlling by telling you need to be there at a certain time in order to get paid?
I'm a business owner. I have a brick and mortar. I know.
Okay, so
I have
are
a
you
job and I
controlling
still
of your
control my
employees
time.
that they need to be to work
We
at a
have
certain time?
we have an agreement. I say this is what I need. They say this is what they can offer, and we agree to that together mutually.
Okay, cool. And did you grow up in a 2-parent household?
I did.
Okay, and were you able to just come and go as you pleased? And were your parents? Is that your parents being controlling?
No, that's my parents rearing me, taking care of me.
Okay, cool. Now, if you were
With a
if you
foundation of
decided,
love,
if
intention of love.
for sure. But if you decided to date a woman who provided for you, said you didn't have to work, you can work electively, do what you want, you can keep your business and do all this other stuff, but I'm taking care of everything. Just like for your employees, I know you guys got an agreement, but if they break the agreement, do they get to keep their job?
That's not them. No, they don't.
Okay.
Because now we're
Okay.
out of bounds of the agreement.
Okay, cool. So, but you're in charge, correct, of this agreement?
I'm a leader.
Okay. So does that make you controlling if the agreement isn't met and you tell them to leave? All right. So if I have a woman who chose to be with me,
You guys chose to be with each other.
yeah, either way, she chose to be with me and chose to allow me to provide everything. I should have some type of authority over what's being done.
You guys should have whatever works for you guys, whatever you want to call
No,
it.
that's just how life works, including your business.
But that's what
Because-
she agreed to.
I-
when she
Exactly.
chose.
So,
she should
her
know all the
employees
terms and
agree.
conditions.
Exactly. So
So
it's
that's a
not.
term and condition.
So which I'm trying to say, where is the controlling?
Oh,
No,
okay.
You see what I'm
It's
saying?
an agreement.
Don't say it. Yeah, it's an agreement. So if you agreed to
Yeah,
how
then you no
this
longer
is,
have-
then there's no control.
Well, she was just pretty much just saying it is kind of you're saying the same thing that she said, because you and your relationship, you guys do the betterment of your relationship, and if you're paying for something and you're the provider, and she simply said, and you said from the beginning, yeah, if I'm paying for this, well, of course you're not gonna do that. I'm not gonna pay for this, and she agreed. That's what she agreed to, and she was only just saying it's giving controlling because that's her perspective, and she said like this is not something that I could deal with.
No, I understand.
Yeah.
That. I understand that. But
yeah, once you agree, you agree.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
there's no controlling in when someone is willingly doing.
Oh no, they're
what
already
is-
in the
what
agreement.
is-
They
what
agree
is
to it.
asked
They're
of
already
them.
in the agreement.
Exactly, and that's all I was trying to get to,
Yeah.
because me saying you're not going on no girls trip isn't a controlling thing, and it shouldn't be giving that either. It's the simple fact that if we've agreed to this in this relationship, and I say that I don't want to do that, you have a choice. You can say that's not the type of relationship I want to be in.
Absolutely.
Bounce.
Yeah, that's what we were saying.
Okay, but if you end up 30, 40, 50, 60, no kids, no man, because you want to do whatever the fuck you want to do, that's on you.
It was the it's given, huh, Troy?
It was the
The
controlling, because
Oh, yeah,
that's a buzz term used today by a lot of women sitting there saying like men, you can't have masculinity and no. A masculine man is a leader. A leader gives direction. For instance, a coach tells his players what to do. If the star player don't want to do what he's told, guess what, star player? Go sit on the bench.
Right. It just
Okay.
feels good or doesn't feel good, right?
Yeah, but
So
feelings are
there's
fleeting. Emotions are temporary.
Feelings are real, and they're also.
I didn't say
factual
that they
facts.
weren't real, and I didn't say that they weren't valid, but that doesn't mean that they're right.
No,
they are.
It's not a right or wrong thing. What I'm saying is, in the concept of a boss and staff, a male, a female, or masculine or feminine energy, or a coach and whatever, do X or this is the consequence. Sit on the bench. That can happen in a way that either feels good or doesn't feel good, right? There's either love and there's an intention of kindness, and there's a way to make those pieces move to where both people can still have humanity, love, dignity, integrity, and feel good, right? And there's an energy.
Where does that work though? So again, I'm coach. I ask star player, this is what I need of you. If you don't do it, go sit on the bench. And he doesn't like how I say it.
But isn't that
Hold on. Let me finish this analogy. He don't like how I say it. Do you think even the team is going to respect this star man? We rely on you, and you just quit on us because of how you feel. I don't respect you, nor do I trust you to lead me. Okay? So damn the feelings. If you believed in me to lead, I need to do so because I'm telling you to do this for the best possible outcome. We can get to the feelings after we finish the game, after we get to the course, after we accomplish the goal. Okay? Right now, I can understand that this may not feel good, sweetheart, honey, partner, and you may not have liked how I said it, but we have something to achieve. Once we achieve that, then I can let you know, hey, I didn't mean to, or I not necessarily didn't mean, I know I may have came off harsh, but shit, sometimes this is life or death.
Damn.
You see what I'm saying?
That was my Kevin Hart, Don Cheadle down.
But that's what I'm saying. Like feelings are temporary. Feelings are fleeting. Feelings change so quickly.
I think it's beautiful though. So beautiful how everything that you said, everything you said, and I have said have been, we are all stating what works for us, what we want, and some things that may work for you won't for you, and you for you, and you for you, right? And so stand on business and keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, I get that, but
I think
what I'm saying is A, this is a conversation for a bunch of people where shit ain't working.
Yeah.
And also, are we all married to our dream person? Are we all living and making the money that we want to make? Are we all where we want to be in life? Then it ain't working yet. We're on our way there.
Right.
So we can't sit there and say what works for us. This is what we're doing and this is where it's gotten us. But if we aren't who we want to be, ain't shit worked.
Wow.
And I think too, it makes a difference. Like your reasoning for feeling how you feel in regards to girls trips wouldn't make me feel any kind of way because it was phrased in a way like for your protection. Like it would drive me crazy knowing that I'm in a position not to help if the need were to arise. Like as your man, I need to for me to be me, the best me I can be, I need to be close enough to you where I feel like I could do something. And me not being in that position, I wouldn't be me. That's a whole different conversation than you can't go.
That's what we're saying. What,
It's
it
like,
feels
whoa,
good or it
like,
doesn't.
yeah.
That feels good.
That feels good when you explain it that way. And it's like, oh,
My man
okay,
gotta
can't
come.
go-
My man gotta come
You
on a
can't
trip
go
because he gonna
only
protect
applies
us.
that way is if you were a former Lil Bop or you're surrounded by a bunch
That's
of
why I
former
said
bops.
I came to
like
character.
I said,
Like,
location and friends involved.
But even
Hell
that,
no,
like,
you ain't
you
going.
know, because like I have friends that I won't travel. Like I had an opportunity to go to London for the first time. Couldn't wait. Love to go. It's on my bucket list. The person that invited me, my first question was, "Oh, is your husband coming?" And she was like, "No, I'm gonna go when your husband go, cause I know how you get down, and I don't want to have to take on that responsibility being in a city that I want to enjoy the way I want to enjoy, because I know when
babysitting
you're
you.
gonna be there, I'm gonna have to babysit you."
See, but
And that's
even
not how
everything
I
you
wanna-
said, which is what he said, it's believable. But most women are not like you,
I know that, but that's what I'm.
especially when it comes to traveling. That's not
Yeah,
even how
like-
most women are even looking at it. They're not looking at it like out of these 3 days, one of these days is going to be in pajamas and a book.
But also, most women, unfortunately, their day in, day out isn't enjoyable. They're running from their life.
Fair.
So if you put me in a position, or in this case, I put myself in a position where I'm not running from my life, I'm extending it. And so for me, it's not a,
Even more valid.
ooh, I get to, so, but it goes back to the type, how you were raised, the character of a woman you want, what you're into. So if you know your girl is, she a bop and hiding and she been suppressing her bop,
I wouldn't
then,
trust her either.
Yeah, like no,
Yeah.
you
I
can't
mean,
go.
she's
Like
in
you
recovery.
reserved to
Again,
Sedona, your grandmama's house. Like
I do want to say that, like, again, I do, just like he said, like, I ain't the simp. Don't get into it twisted.
Yeah.
Majority of this shit don't apply to me. I don't even have to worry about it.
Yeah.
But and I do trust my girl, but I still just don't see the point. It's more or less like if you would have a problem that I'm going, or if I told you no, we can't afford it right now, or it doesn't make sense right now. All of these kind of things. There's so many things that go into it outside of me even trusting her or her being in potential harm's way.
But
You know what I'm
what
saying?
I'm saying is it's the conversation.
Yeah.
And there
Yeah.
are some
It's the
men,
delivery.
especially providing men, that no means no. Like I said no, and that's the end of the conversation. And that's why for me, like communication is it's paramount. Like you can't, there are certain things you can just say no and okay.
Talk
like
to
I'm
me
like,
nicely.
okay, like no is no. Like I'm not gonna question it because I already know where it's coming from. But if I want to be allowed to get to the why with you, like me questioning you in that regard, if it's a space we've never been in before, I don't want you to feel that that's antagonizing. I want you to feel like that's us learning each other. So if I say, well, honey, like it's just this.
I don't want to cut you
where-
off. Go ahead.
I want to be able to have that dialogue to be able to go like, oh, so what makes this different? Because I did go to Sedona with such and such. So is it because of Sarah? Like who? Like where's the difference? And so if we can't have that conversation and you expect it to be, I said no, that doesn't work for me. But like you said, I'm sure it works for who it works for.
Right.
But for me, it's like there's certain things, like I said, if you say we can't go here, 9 times out of 10, like I'm gonna be like, oh, okay, like I don't go no way, or I can go wherever we want to go. But if it's something that I'm clearly excited about, I'm gonna need that dialogue from my partner to be like, oh, okay, like you're worried about my safety, like I get that, like okay, cool. I don't want you sitting up here pacing for 3 days, or you feeling some type of way. Like I'm not gonna jeopardize my home.
It's
but
less Ike and Tina, more bodyguard. I
Thank
believe.
you. Right,
Yeah,
because like
like-
it depends on we talked about values of a person, values of her values include communication, but it also includes a certain type of communication. It's not just talk, like say no, say yes, what are we doing,
Mine
right?
is mindful communication.
And yours is also a person who loves God, right? And so like just today I was talking to my partner and I said, yo, this is for me, this is what love looks like. So when you say I love you, it's inclusive of all these things. And the first thing that the scripture says is love is kind, right? So telling me no, you're still saying no, but how could you do that kind? Because I wanted my love from you, I wanted to feel kind. I wanted to feel patient. I wanted to feel as though you're taking me as a soft vessel into consideration by saying, hey, I want you to have a good time. I know these are friends that are close to you. However, I am concerned about your safety. Talk to me. And it's not to say that I'm going to decrease your concern by saying, no. But there might be some stuff that you don't know. And now I get to go like, oh, no. We're not even going to the clubs. We're going here to this place because there's this restaurant. And it's going to be really dope. We're actually doing more spa-like stuff than going out like stuff. Now maybe it's like, okay. And also in the future, hey, I want to go on to this event. I know that you're traditionally always very protective of me. I love that about you. Kiss on the forehead. However, this is what I'm doing to ensure that I'm in a safe space so you don't have to worry. Is there any other concerns that you have? Love should be kind if those two individuals state this is how we communicate. But if it's a dictatorship or if it's a like, I'm paying for it, and if I'm paying for it, I get the final say, a person would have to agree to that. And if they do, they do. And if it works for that couple, it works for that couple. It just wouldn't work for others. And that doesn't make either right or wrong. It's just
Do you
that
think
doesn't
being
work.
combative is kind?
I think disagreement is kind.
Oh my God.
I'm not fighting you.
Yeah,
To
at all.
combat is to fight.
Yes.
I'm not fighting my partner. I can disagree with you. I can discuss with you. I can dialogue with you. I can communicate with you. But when I am actively defying and combating and just ripping you, we gotta go. That's not what I want to do.
I get that. I was just asking the question if being combative is kind, but also because the
Not in a love
with,
space, no.
with your thing, when you're like that's the problem or the miscommunication with you right?
Oh, my allergies. I want to take some allergies.
Yeah, we probably should.
When if you do want a providing man, like if you want that, if you don't want it, then yes, you can have those conversations. But at the end of the day, 9 out of 10 times, if you have that kind of relationship with a man where you don't feel safe, where you don't feel protected, where you don't feel led, and you call the shots on the communication and that type of things, it's not going to work out because you're not going to have the level of respect you need to follow that man.
But even in my example, I just said I needed an explanation of a why. I didn't say, regardless of what you say, I'm going to do me.
No, I didn't say that's what you said either. What I'm saying is we already established that type of man is rare. What makes you think that he is going to be, maybe he should be, and it would be nice for you to have everything you want. Maybe he wants hold on. Maybe have everything you want, meaning I want an explanation. But he could also look at it like, I don't need to give you an explanation. This is what I said. If you don't like it, leave.
This just simply not your person.
I know, I get that. I get that. But then who is? Because there's not, because if that person was out there, y'all ought to have one. Women love to say, I can have any man, I can have whatever man I want. No, not you, not y'all, but you hear it. We don't act like we don't hear it. Women say shit like that all the time. I can have any man. But if you could have the man you wanted, you'd have him. You see what I'm saying? So, but 9 out of 10 times, the man that you want is going to lead, direct.
Yeah.
And you're going to follow. And if you want to and need a explanation, he may not want to give it to you all the time.
It's just certain men. I know plenty of provider men who it just depends on where they are in their life. Whatever works.
To me, it almost seems like you want a provider, but also do what you want to do.
No.
Not y'all in particular, but just women in general. And
I
that's
would
not
just
how
say
it
from
works.
like a communication
That's like saying
standpoint.
I want to go to this job, but I'm gonna show up when I feel like it. And they're gonna have to deal with it.
That'd be me. But I'm saying so far it's just like a communication. There are providers who just have the same communication style as you. Just like there's some women you could just say no and daddy said no and that's it and that is fine. So it just really all depends.
And 80% and 85, 90% of the time, that's how I am. Like you said, no, it's no. But if it's something that I would like to discuss, it's all like to use your own kind of, if you're leading the best leaders, male, female, whatever you want to identify as, the best leaders are leaders with a plan and a why to back what it is that they're doing. So I guess that's the thing. I guess I don't want a leader. I want a teacher. I want someone who can guide and not someone who's going to dictate.
But he's already doing that, which is why he got you in the first place, because he's already shown you, I figured this out.
Exactly.
Which is why you live the lifestyle that you live.
So for you to say no,
What is the point of an explanation? You've already seen that I'm making the best choices,
but
which is what got us.
that's your opportunity to
But
educate me. Like, I'm missing something clearly. Like, so what is it that I'm missing? Like, educate me on what I'm not considering so that when this arises again, I have a better understanding of what I'm really being asked.
Okay.
Because I'm missing something clearly. Because if I'm like, we're fine, everything's fine, and you're like, no, I feel like you should be able to verbalize that. And you
I
should
definitely
be able,
should, and I did, and you agreed with the different things, perspective that didn't even cross your mind. You know what I'm saying?
Then
But
it's like,
also,
okay.
but also, I do believe that same thing, just like a coach and or a boss, go sit on the bench. I don't have to explain shit to you. We have an objective. That's that. If you don't like it, don't play.
But that's an explanation though. The objective is not that. That's an explanation. Cool.
Okay.
Like that's not our, but
Well-
you just, what I'm saying is I'm not
You're
going
not gonna
to
put up with because I said so.
You gave some really great examples of coaches, of leaders, of bosses, but the ultimate is God, right? And so if God gives us an explanation because it's kind, if God says, don't do this because this will be the outcome of it, instead, my love, do this. God also says, do not exasperate or irritate your children by offering them no direction but no discipline to go with it. Explain, talk, teach, help, set them up for success. So if you have a partner who's a wife who you see as a weaker vessel or a lesser vessel, not talking about in a dominant way, but in a way of how man and women are created, then isn't it loving and kind? And wouldn't you gather more fruitage on the back end by the next time she wants to do something, she knows how you work because you're teaching her who you are, how you are, and why you are, by saying, hey, I'm in fear of some safety issues. I'm having some concerns. I would much prefer if you don't go with this crowd because of how they move.
I already said that.
but that's
You
all I'm
said
saying.
no, period. Why are we still talking about it? And what I'm saying is, in all the
I said
examples,
both, but either way, again, if I'm leading by example, a wise person is learning by watching. And that is still teaching. This is what I do. This is how we got here. And this is the example I expect everybody to follow.
the best leaders
I'm not
motivate
going out
people
on a
to
bunch of
movement and
trips.
change.
I'm not taking a
But a
very
woman,
few and far
some women aren't
between.
going to look at you as God. Some
I-
women
who
might.
said that
So what
they're
I'm
gonna
saying
look
is,
at me as
if you're
God?
saying, "Hey, look at me. Clearly, I've done it. Here's what I know how to do it. Clearly, I've been successful because I got you. So just watch me, observe, and learn." Some women aren't going to be like, "Okay, and some are going to say, "Hey,
Well, then she's not
talk
gonna
to
last
me
long.
with you." Correct. So
She's
I
not
think
gonna last long
we're
with
saying the
any
same
man.
thing.
Any man that's got his shit together.
It-
No man that's worked his ass off is going to tolerate a woman who
Would
wants
you?
to do
Who
whatever she
asks
wants to
questions?
do.
Would you?
But I went.
Would you? You're a man who's worked his ass off, correct?
yes.
Would you explain? Would you offer some sort of, "Hey, this is a preference and this is why"?
I told you guys the bodyguard explanation to
Yeah.
him was fine, but the thing is, I don't want to do it to only have you to combat me for next time. Also, what you're saying is, if I do it this way, I can go.
No, but we're talking about evenly yoked, right?
Okay.
So we're talking about evenly yoked. You are communicating with an intention of offering love and kindness to your partner. Hold her hand, explain it to her. If you're evenly yoked, she's not the type. You didn't pick someone who was then combative, right?
Well, I mean, like I said, so everything back to my parents. So my dad, who doesn't owe me shit, was always like, "Hey, look, I need you to fix his backyard. We have family coming over. I'm going to the grocery store. I'm about to start cooking." So he always told me what he wanted me to do. He told me what he was doing and why we were doing it.
Yes.
Every single time.
Correct.
So it was really difficult for me not to accept it from anybody else. If
Correct.
you're telling me something, I need to know what I'm doing. What are you doing and why are we doing it? But that's just me. So it's just like, so it's like he gave y'all the answer of, look, he went really polite on only giving a little bit. But I said, pull the curtain back, pull that shit back. Because there's so many dangers they don't even realize that they avoid on a day-to-day. So it's like, yeah, you've been looking after yourself and you look around corners in Memphis and I get it, but it's still like, there's still so many things that can go left.
So then talk. Yeah, so then talk to us as opposed to the no, right?
But
That's
even-
what I'm saying. Because to the point of the generalities of like, no successful man is going to work their ass off and then be like, no, and explain. And I'm saying to you, as a man who's worked his ass off, you will say no and you will explain because people are different.
It's one time through though. Yeah, I'll definitely say,
Yeah.
look, this is what
And
we're
I
doing.
don't
Blah
Doesn't
blah
have
blah.
to be. It
Repeat
doesn't. You don't have to
yourself.
because you're evenly yoked. So you pick.
Yeah, I'm not
someone who's
volleyballing with
equally
anybody though. We're not going
intelligent, right?
back and forth about this. I'm like,
And
And
even
because
in
you're
the
evenly
example,
yoked, you didn't pick someone who wants to volleyball.
right? And even in the example, once I had the explanation, it was a
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like there was no. But what if it was just okay? Like cool.
So I went on a
I'm not-
vacation. I did go on a girls' trip with my best friend, and we went to the hell of New Orleans together. Had no idea we were in the hell of New Orleans, right? We were in the trap. And when I came back, I was told like, absolutely, here's what happens there. And when I was like, oh my God, I had no idea. Thank you. But it wasn't a dictatorship. It wasn't a, you will not go there. It was like, let me explain what really happens in the area you went in the particular establishment that you went into. Here's all the things that could have happened, and you're in deer in headlights having a good old time.
Y'all realize
That was
they're still
appreciated.
snatching chicks out here too, right? Like that's a real thing.
I
and like I
know,
said, that's
because
why
I
I
live in a
wouldn't-
different world, right? I live in a different place to where I am a little bit naive to stuff, so it is helpful to be told like, "Hey,
still get
you were in the
snatched.
trap," and I'm like, "Oh, them the real?"
I think
thought that was in movies.
I think that's really big, and I used to say that all the time. This is kind of off of that, but just people's reality. Everybody's reality is so different, and I always say, like, I hear this horrible shit, and I'm just like, oh, I heard about it or I seen it in a movie because it's not my reality. And the same when it comes with people, it same when it comes with men.
I agree. I honestly, even the stuff that could happen to y'all isn't
Yeah.
extreme. It's not likely. To be perfectly honest, it isn't
I was
likely.
just talking
It
about
isn't
general,
likely
not
because
like
no.
the-
But here's
yeah.
the thing: social media has made things good and bad seem attainable. Okay. We went to high school together. You know anybody from high school got kidnapped? No. Do you know anybody from any school you ever went to got kidnapped? No. But does it happen? Yes. However, as a parent, I'm a parent. My kids don't go through this cul-de-sac without me outside because I'm a weak ass parent because social media has made me think that they're about to get snatched.
That's me.
Okay. It happens highly unlikely. Okay.
Yeah, but you wanna safeguard.
Yeah, but and again, you know what I'm saying? Like, so even with the dangers that could happen, is the extremes and all that other stuff. That's not the point. The point is, I mean, there could be a multitude of reasons as to why I said no. Okay, but and again, this is just the way the world has always worked. There's always going to be a hierarchy. Someone who makes a final decision. And everyone else also has the absolute free will and freedom to decide, I'm not okay with that. For instance, him and I both worked in barbershops. Both had issues with our bosses. Both decided to go do it on our own. Both are fine. So if she doesn't want to listen, regardless of an explanation, go be fine on your own.
Yeah.
And don't complain. That's all I'm saying. You can be kind if you want. The kindness is the simple fact that I have been kind enough to do everything that I have done for you without asking for those things in return.
I think it's just a delivery.
Okay, and that's fine. But again, delivery ain't got nothing to do with facts. Period.
It's just,
I get it. I don't want to go, Daddy. I barely want to go on this trip too. I get it, boo. Talk nice to me.
I get that. I get that. You could I say something differently?
Why not?
Sure. Huh? Because I don't have to. And B,
based on who. Yeah. Oh, there we go.
No.
There we go.
No one
Amen.
has to do anything.
Exactly.
But, like,
Exactly.
that's-
Okay,
we're
but
saying
that's
the
the
same
thing.
thing.
Yeah, exactly. So you're saying I should. I'm saying I shouldn't have to if I don't want to, and you shouldn't have to deal with it if you don't want to.
Correct.
So regardless if I say it the way you like or not, the fact still remains. And if you don't want to deal with it, it is on you not to deal with it.
Okay.
However, don't go complaining if you can never replace what you had.
Whoa.
That's the biggest problem.
I don't. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna go win on your own, go win on your own. You don't need me. You never needed me in the first place. Okay? So if you're gonna go do that, fine. But don't sit there and say you want somebody to provide for you, protect you, be charming, funny, handsome, tall, good in bed, all these things, and you get that, and then tell them, well, I also want you to do it my way. No, that's not how it fucking works. That's not how anything works. You can't go to your job and say, I'm gonna do the job you asked me to do my way. No, you're gonna do it the way I asked you to do it. If you don't, and the results aren't what I asked for,
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I was like,
and the results aren't what I asked for, if the results aren't what I asked for, then I'm going to replace you.
You should be a
Okay.
dom.
So now, peep. Flip the table. You're with a man who has not achieved. His results aren't what you want. So what do? Bounce. But this man ain't got a right to sit there and say, I'm not telling you that you can't. I am saying I don't want you to go, and the answer is no. But you also can make your own decision. But you ain't coming back here. Why do I not have the right to say I'm not with you, no more?
I think we're covered. You're good.
If a man is if you're not living up to my expectations, but I'm living up to all of yours, why is that a problem? Why do I have to be kinder in that situation? Because my expectation
we were just like how anything, we're only literally just answering from our perspective. So in general, I think everybody agreed, like, just deal with whoever you want to deal
works
with.
for you.
Absolutely. I'm in the betterment of, if I'm in a relationship with you, it's going to look very different from if I'm in a relationship with him. So, and it's just what works for the person. In this case, is just like, I definitely agree with what you're saying so far as the reasoning. However, I think just me answering from my own perspective, I would like to be talked kindly. I do understand where you're coming from of just like, well, this ain't for you. And I would just be like, thank you so much. I gracefully bow out. But that, I think the full thing is just do what works for you. And I mean, if it works for you, I mean, I really, really feel like you should just be a dom, because that shit is really sexy.
A dom?
Yeah. It's, oh, sorry. It's,
We don't have the
We'll
time.
hit that offline.
We don't have the time.
Well, this one was fun.
Subject matter.
Definitely triggered. But I warned you guys before we started this show, I'm going to say a lot of shit you don't like. So, we will catch you guys next week. We're out of here.
He said, I warned y'all.